Okay, I'm looking right now. The last thing we want to do is rely on my memory for recaps. Really rely on my memory for fucking anything these days.
Yeah, I get that. The hell.
I love the background, Dan.
Dude,
I
that
wish I had a
picture
green
of
screen. I need a green screen. That would make it even better. Like I
Or
just
you
need
get
like
just like a
wait.
little roll around one or something. You know, you don't have to like
Yeah.
make your whole
Yeah.
office a streaming room, but
Yeah.
you probably
Right.
could.
Right.
They've got those like portable screens that are really like, they're at pretty cheap now. I mean, you probably could get a green screen version of it.
I don't think it needs to be anything fancy. Do you ever work with Pesco before you left and on video call with him? And
Yeah.
he's got this office and it's like it's painted the exact green of green screen.
Yeah.
Like that's what he painted his office. I'm like, that's a really cool idea. And he's like, that wasn't his intention at all. He thought it was going to be gray. And I'm like, sorry, dude, your room looks awful. All right, hey, I'm gonna jump right in unless you guys want to like bullshit a little bit longer. I don't want to cut that out. I know it's been a minute. All right, so I'm gonna put this on. All right, oh, I already shared it there. You guys can all jump on and roll 20 when you ready. Looks like I got everybody in there except Will. You're still jumping on. No big deal.
Oh yeah, my bad. I gotta get in roll 20. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. You got time. Okay. So let me pull up. I gotta watch ads now, Adam.
For what?
Because I don't have my Twitch Turbo anymore.
Oh, don't you just use your Twitch Prime on my server though? Not my server.
I will.
Then
I
you don't
will.
have to. It's whatever.
Except I just used it on that girl with the cleavage, so I have to wait a month. No, I'm kidding. No, I will. That's a good idea. But I heard the sound, so I don't care about this. I'm good.
Okay.
All right. So, you got the recap up though? All right. Cool. Last session, 79, was back on September 11th. Echoes of a Shattered Heart. The only way out is through. As the heartbeat that echoed through Castle Ravenloft quickened, mirroring the party's own rising tension, it became evident that confronting Lord Strahd von Zarovich was their sole path to freedom. Determined to prevent Strahd from further plotting, the group made haste. Guided by Deckard's uncanny sense of hearing, they navigated the familiar parapet around the castle's outer wall. A reminder of a previous battle lingered. A lifeless suit of animated armor lay discarded, but a new, bizarre sight greeted them. A burlap sack carelessly dropped or perhaps intentionally left. As Spargo cautiously examined it using a mage hand, a swarm of severed human hands sprang forth, attacking the gnome wizard. The group valiantly rallied, crushing some hands beneath their feet while others fell to arrows and spells. Onward they pressed, guided always by the ever-present throbbing heart, pulling them toward a grand spiral staircase they recognized. They found themselves on a platform where the origin of their guiding force, mingled with their apprehension, stood unveiled. A magnificent, pulsating heart, carved from radiant red crystal, cast a mesmerizing light that flared intensely before setting into a rhythmic glow. The tower, vast at its base, tapered as it reached skyward. Above this enigmatic heart, the staircase persisted in its winding ascent. This heart, the very soul of Castle Ravenloft, sent tremors through the stairs, making every step treacherous. Alaric, hugging the walls, led the way. He spied another bridge, linking this spire to a neighboring one, but the heart beckoned them onward. Positioned ominously around the room, gleaming halberds hung. Almost instinctively, Alaric lashed out at the heart, initiating a concerted effort. His javelin struck true, causing the heart to shed crystalline tears, which, upon release, transformed into rivulets of blood, cascading down the tower's expanse. The room's halberd sprung to life in defense of their charge, swirling like a metallic storm. The onslaught jostled Ragnar and Alaric, with the former being cast into the abyss. However, Spargle's rapid intervention cast a spell to break his fall, though not without the dwarf being doused in the heart's sanguine excretions. As halberds slashed and darted, Juniper's lightning proved devastating while Deckard's arrows flew with precision. Thornton brandished his weapon, Talon, cleaving through the airborne threats. Yet the halberd's focus soon turned to Juniper, whose spells seemed most potent against them. The final battle against the Heart was a sight to behold. Deckard and Juniper eliminated more of the defending halberds with eldritch blasts and bolts. Poor Ragnar sped up the stairs as quickly as he could to rejoin the fray, not one to miss a good fight. Then, as a climatic finale, Alaric, with unmatched determination, lunged forth, piercing the heart with the blood spear of Kavan. The once mighty Heart's last beat heralded its demise as it shattered into a mix of blood and crystal shards. The hero's descent was graceful, passing Ragnar on his ascent up the stairs. With the Heart now silenced, Thoradin, Juniper, and Sparkle dispatched the remaining, albeit futile, halberd defenders. As Ragnar and Alaric stood amidst the falling droplets of blood, a thunderous roar echoed through the air. It was Strahd von Zarovich, diving down from the spire towards them, fury burning in his eyes for the Heart of Sorrow's obliteration.
When are you writing your first book?
Yeah, I don't know why you don't write.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
also don't know why you're not an artist too. Not to sidebar, but seriously,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I
Because
think there's a
I rely on ChatGPT for too much of my writing these days, and I'm a professional sketcher. I'm not a good artist.
Sketches
Plus,
are
I mean,
awesome.
you're really happy with your current career, so I mean, why even switch? You know?
That's right. And also, I love what I do.
yeah, you're doing really well there. It's really good for the mental health. There's
Yes.
a budding second career here though. Your Dan
agree.
Lastoria's second
if
act
I
is
had
gonna
half
be
the talent Dan did to write and draw, I'd be drawing comic books day in and day out and finding a way to make money off. But I can't
Or
even
DM.
write my last name legibly. So
Yeah,
I
you
can't
should
do
just
that.
do it.
I'm enthralled by these recaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good shit.
Great job.
Can you
Thank
easily
you.
export from this thing? Like, if you wanted to put it all together into like a.
It's all saved together, right?
Ooh.
On the website.
Yeah, that Obsidian portal's pretty good. It's got everything, and I went back and I did. Yeah, we have everything back to
I
the
read one of
beginning.
the first ones not that long ago.
I would buy this as a book.
I
Like,
think
would.
there's websites that you can kind of make your own book just like for shits and gigs. So
Yeah.
you know, we could have this made into just like a
We
tome
should.
that we could
That
just
would be
carry
sick.
around.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be a cool memento to have.
Hell yeah.
I'll rip out the page where I'm covered in blood though.
These
Chapters,
pictures are
like-
sweet.
Chapters 1 through 4 will look like they're written by a third grader, and then the later chapters will be like, who was the ghostwriter that came in and started doing this? I can't get current on your stream, Adam. Do you guys see the overland map right now?
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Let me go to browser real quick. Ah, perfect. Okay, I can see it there.
It's oddly nostalgic for me to look at this map.
I know.
I don't know that we've used this exact one.
No.
I don't remember this one.
No, I like this
Much
one a
more
lot.
detailed.
So let me kind of set up what's happening here in the castle. So, almost at the exact same moment that you hear the roar of Strahd as he starts, you just kind of see the outline of his silhouette, barreling down from the top of the spire. This whole spire is like you're kind of used to it now. It's like really expansive and very tall and kind of echoey, very dark. Now that the heart has kind of been shattered, that was giving off some light. There's like mist kind of creeping in through the windows, and it's sort of encircling the whole castle at this point. The air is thick with tension, and then sort of right next to you, Ragnar and Alaric, right as you hear this roar up top, a door bursts open right next to you.
Oh, good.
And surprising you, you see Van Richten kind of like push into the door, and he comes stumbling in, and there's a figure behind him as well. And he sees you first, Ragnar, and he sees you running up the stairs right as Alaric's kind of floating down. He kind of looks around, he looks at the two of you, and he's like, oh, I hope that wouldn't be too late. This ally of yours, he chose a really peculiar time to seek redemption. but I thought you kids could use some help. I found this guy wandering off, and this like hunched over figure with like robes and stuff kind of comes out of the darkness, and it's the abbot. You guys last saw the abbot when he was being chastised by Strahd for the bride, and he kind of ran off all defeated. And he goes, I found this guy wandering off all depressed, and that little mongrel fella that I held on to from here, he helped us sneak back in here through the crypts. I guess this abbot, he's had a change of heart. Something clicked. He's got a way to buy us some precious time here, but we have to trust in his plan. And you're about to like turn around and you see that. So the abbot pulls his like hood back, and you see that it's him. He's got a different kind of look on his face. He looks a little bit more focused, a little bit more in reality than before. Maybe he was a little bit flighty and always kind of preoccupied with what he was doing. He seems that something has clicked in his head, and he looks a little different. And he looks up at you, and he looks up at the balcony where the rest of you are all standing. Strahd's like still like kind of making his way down. And he actually looks at Strahd, and he looks kind of like scans the room at all of you, and he says, in all of you, I perceive purpose and valor. Here at evil's very core, you risk being swallowed whole. I have wandered Barovia under the guise of a simple monk, aiming to mend and inspire, but I was lost in the darkness of this land and led astray. Today, I cast aside that facade, revealing my celestial origin. And then suddenly, this all's kind of like happening, and Strahd is kind of like, his float is kind of slowing down almost apprehensively as this unfolds. This is all kind of happening in parallel. Strahd's was initially like surging down. The abbot comes in, and they starts talking about this stuff, and he kind of like slows his. Strahd actually pauses. And then the abbot kind of steps in front of Van Richten and kind of cracks his back like this, kind of like, and his whole like size and stature sort of magnifies as he gets like larger, and from his back sprouts enormous wings, not of feathers, but of luminous, pure energy. And so the room itself kind of like lights up. The room that has been like for centuries just filled with dread and despair is now pulsating with like a divine intensity. Let me show you just a little bit of
Thank God I called that guy.
Well done. Well done, bro.
And then and his now sort of otherworldly voice. Now his voice changes, and he's like has like this more hollow, like almost like otherworldly, divine, like kind of like echoey like voice. And he says, which I'm not going to try to emulate, so just pretend I'm saying it that way. You who champion good deserve a brief respite. My final act in this realm shall be to grant you temporary sanctuary, a fleeting moment to prepare for the climax of this ultimate battle. Across time and space, you are all connected to this realm. Grasp your destiny. I can give you only but a few moments before you're pulled back. And then as he's saying that, Strahd now has kind of stopped his descent and doesn't seem to know what's going on. He's right near the rest of you, though, up top. And then when the abbot finishes saying that, there's like this, he kind of like light starts to like spiral around him, almost like a vortex, but like in a column. And it gets bigger and bigger until he is just like a column of light with these little tendrils coming out. And each one of them like kind of snakes around and like touches you. And then right as you start to feel like reality start to like fade, or just like where your current position start to just like kind of shimmer, you see Strahd kind of snap out of it and get more enraged. Those of you that are looking at him, and he kind of lunges from the shadows and he leaps right at Van Richten. And and he puts his arms around Van Richten, kind of grabs him from the one side and like grapples him off to the side, right at the bottom, right where you, Alaric, and Ragnar are. And he traps him, and you see him kind of like starting to like fly him back up. And the abbot starts like kind of the column of light, and the abbot and just the whole presence there seems to like realize the danger, but it's too late. The force of Strahd kind of leaping down in the middle, and just the power of this abbot spell results in this huge blinding explosion. And the column of light just like fills the whole spire and then goes shooting out the top, and then just kind of like dissipates back to darkness. And you all start to feel, you start to see like your vision, your reality just kind of like fade away. You're like kind of watching the scene fade away as you all see something different. You start to be transported to a different place. The last thing you hear, you see a thing, and then the last thing you hear is Van Richten shouting from while he's being muffled and grabbed by Strahd. He says, "Never forget this sacrifice." He goes, "Strahd must be defeated. Every drop of light, every sacrifice, it's all for him to fall. Defeat Strahd." And that's the last thing you hear. But all of you but Spargle also see the final sight that sort of sears into your minds. The other 5 of you, as you're dipping away, is Spargle still standing there, pretty close to Strahd, and he kind of looks up, and their eyes meet, signaling some kind of like dark understanding, and that's the last thing you see as you dip away. I need everybody but Spargle to roll initiative.
Oh, you traitor. You fucking
Oh,
two-timing.
no.
You fucking...
Sparkle, I trusted you.
The fucking
Wow.
heel turn. Here
I'd
it is.
just like to
Fuck-
point out that I never trusted Spargle.
Oh, no.
Well,
what he did to
don't
those
jump to
kids.
conclusions.
What are you talking about?
Damn, this is the fucking guy you bring in to play D&D with us? We should have stayed with Crocus.
Hey, no, hang on. It ain't over yet.
I'm just kidding.
And
The second we brought him here, we should.
the other thing that the 5 of you notice is as you're kind of dipping away, the gems that Deckard had like thrown down the spire and landed on the floor, you all suddenly seem to have one in your hand as you're disappearing. You have this gem in your hand, and it's pulsing. Almost feels like it's pulsing like time, like a countdown or a clock is what kind of strikes you as weird. Holy cow, let's see. So you guys had high initiative rolls here.
All of a sudden, that fucking fireball in the lighthouse, the mill seems a lot more fucked up now, man.
All right, so let's see. So who had that? So let me just get this. Ragnar, you had the highest.
Looks like it.
Then Deckard.
21.
Then Thornton.
I got 18.
Okay, and then Alaric.
Mhm.
17. And then Juniper, you had a 7.
A 7, yes.
Okay. All right, so you have to bear with me a little bit for this next part. If we're going to go kind of person by person, and given what we... Yeah, so we're going to go person by person, a little bit of theater of the mind, and also, in character. You guys obviously don't know what's happening, to each other. So, let's try to role play it the best that we can for now. So, we will start with Juniper.
So you said she has this rock in her hand, and it's like glowing, like it's counting down?
Yep, but hold on, I'll explain more what's going on. Yeah, so you feel yourself sort of like whisked away by this abbot's crazy magic, and you find yourself like when the white light, it kind of like everything goes white, and then the light clear, like flashes to white, and you can't see anything, and then when the light fades away, you find yourself somewhere completely different.
Are we still on the map in Roll20, or is my shit glitched?
I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, what's up?
Are
I
we
see the
still on
of
that map?
Barovia.
Do you now see Juniper popped up on the map?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so Juniper, what you see is you're kind of at the base of the mountains in Mount Baratok, which you're familiar with. They were the mountains that were like sort of above the forest that you grew up in.
Mhm.
And there's some dark thunderclouds kind of banging overhead. There's a big rocky spur and some and right around the base of this mountain, couple dozen yards in front of you, you see this man in these tattered black robes, and he's kind of wandering around, and he looks like really confused, but you can feel there's this magical energy around him.
Did Juniper teleport with her companions, or is she by herself?
Sorry, you're by yourself.
Okay. So being by herself in a somewhat chilly environment and being somewhat disoriented, she's definitely gonna go check out the guy in the robes.
All right. So north of this like mountain lake that you're in, the trees begin their steady climb up the slopes of Mount Baratok. Its monolithic presence oppressive at this distance. The ground's rocky and uneven. You don't even hear wolves and other kind of typical wildlife that you'd hear up here. There's a big blanket of fog and the thunder clouds I mentioned. There's an elk standing about 60 feet away, and it kind of like just disappears as this man comes the other direction. And he's coming right at you, but he looks confused, and he's looking around, but he looks at you and he looks around. His hair is streaked with gray, and his eyes are crackling with some eldritch power. You
Uh-oh.
realize you make a perception check.
22.
22. It doesn't take you long to realize this is the mage that destroyed your entire village and all your friends and family.
Ooh.
Give me just a second to see if I picked Fireball or not. Um, okay, so it's a mage.
Yes,
And you said he's in the hills, or?
he's at the like base of this little bit of a hill. There was an elk sitting on top of it that just kind of like wandered off oddly, and then this man started walking towards you. Now, as he's getting closer, and the moment you kind of like he gets close enough that you can kind of make out that it is this mad mage who destroyed your whole village, you also see a bat. And the bat flies over to a little rock, and it is super crazy for a bat to be up here in the mountains. Like, obviously, you know that's kind of odd. And through your sort of speak to animals sort of connection, you kind of focus on this bat for a second, and you immediately hear Strahd's voice in your head. And the first thing you say you hear is a deal sealed in blood wine, reminding you of your pact. And his voice grows a little seductive, and he says, "Before you stands the malevolent wizard responsible for the decimation of your people. I have ensured he is weak and vulnerable. The time for vengeance has arrived. Strike him down now, and our shared quest for justice shall be realized."
Palpatine shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Holy shit.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
On one hand, I would like to kill him, but on the other hand, I don't want to do what Strahd wants me to do.
Strike him down and you will become more powerful.
All right, sure, why not? I'm going to hit him with lightning.
Okay. All right. First roll initiative.
22. Come on, wizard boy.
Okay, you go first.
All right. Casting Call Lightning at 3rd level. It's a Dex 15 save.
Might get physical dice, probably dice.
How are you getting that to roll in Roll20 and D&D Beyond?
It's something that you have to set up within your Chrome add-ons. It'll send it to Roll20 for you.
Oh,
That's
really?
Really cool.
I dig it.
It's like 2
All right.
clicks.
So you said Dex 15.
Yes, please.
He got a 19.
Damn it. I think he takes half at least. Let me double check. The creature takes 3d10 on a failed save, half as much on a successful one, so you can take 15 damage.
15.
Uh-huh.
The picture.
And
of
now
So
there's
this
like
wizard
stormy
is awesome.
clouds. There's like stormy clouds that have gathered above him, and they're like arcing with lightning, and one just comes down and hits the ground next to him, but singes him enough that he takes 15 damage.
And there was a little bit of a storm brewing behind, so you've just sort of intensified that storm, which has now moved towards the fight here and is blasting him down. He looks surprised and suddenly kind of snaps into sort of a defensive mode, and he says, "You're one of them. I didn't know. I didn't know." But then he pulls back and fires his own lightning bolt towards you.
Dex?
Yeah, Dex save. You need a 17,
Oh, I got a 12.
a 12. Oof,
Oh, wait a
okay.
minute. Oh, no, never mind. God.
Do you have any kind of resistance to
I thought
that?
I did, but it's not against those. It's int and wisdom saves.
I made a special treat just for this occasion.
Oh, was that stuffed mushrooms?
Bagel bites.
Bagel bites.
I was gonna say when pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
That's right.
Where can I just roll dice? What the hell's going on?
Siri could do it for you.
Oh, I had a thing over. I had the timer.
Pizza
over.
bagels are quite possibly the best joint venture between the Jews and the Italians of all time.
Nice.
Oof.
What about Lady Gaga?
I don't think she's a Jew.
I always thought she was half-half. But I could be wrong.
Hey Siri, is Alexa? I mean, oh shit! Hold on, cancel.
Amber, you take 34 lightning damage
Oh,
unless you
good.
can mitigate that somehow.
At least it wasn't 35. That would have been awful.
and this guy, he kind of like he starts after he blasts you with lightning. He gains this little bit of confidence, and he seems to like kind of snap out of the like confused, crazy person mode he was in into this like really focused, ready to attack. But you get to go again, and
All right.
he looks like he is very feeble and weak, and the lightning you blast him with, just totally like blew parts of his robe off, and he doesn't look really good. He looks like a frail old man at this point.
So Juniper shouts over to him and asks that he defend himself against eradicating an entire species out of the forest.
You hear the voice of the bat, who's still talking to you, and says, "Yes, that's right. Don't forget what he did to your people. End him."
Does he seem like he's going to respond, or does he seem like he's kind of caught in the moment shooting lightning bolts?
He seems like he's very. He seems like he's worried about his. Like he seems concerned that for his safety, and he seems to be like just trying to do defensive things. He is starting to draw like arcane symbols in the air as you're talking.
Mm-hmm. All right. How far away from him am I?
Like 20 feet.
20 feet? Okay. I'm a bear now.
What?
I'm a bear now.
Okay, what'd you do? You just went animal shape?
Yeah, I wild shaped into a bear.
All right, I like
and
it.
I'm gonna maul him to death.
What kind of bear?
Kick his ass,
A
sea
polar
bass.
bear.
A polar bear?
A polar
Nice.
bear.
All right, so you turned into a bear. Now that was your action. Does that give you like health and stuff back too?
It gives me all of the health that a bear would have, as well as all of their stats. And whenever the bear loses all of their health, I go back to the amount of health that I had, which
Wow.
unfortunately is not very high.
That seems fair
Yeah,
and
no,
balanced.
that's I like it though. That's a good move. All right, so he suddenly sees this bear, and are you charging at him?
I am, but I'm quickly trying to figure out if this was a bonus action or an action. It's an action. Yeah, so I'm charging at him. I'm now a bear. I look angry.
Okay, you get into like melee range with him at
Yeah,
least.
I'm right in his face.
You can do anything else like bonus action or anything?
Oh, I don't think I can as a bear. Actually, if I can rewrite that for just a second, I'd actually, before I turn into
Yeah, you can.
I actually don't think that's a bonus action. Shit.
I think your bonus action should be make the bear noise.
I was trying to figure out because
I'll do it for you.
I thought Barkskin was a bonus action that I could have used first, but I guess not. So I'm not undoing that, and I'll go ahead and make the noise.
Adam's got
When
a
he's-
second career making bear noises.
when you start running, like you're running at him as a gnome, and then suddenly you turn into a bear, and he was doing one spell, and then he like cancels that spell and like grabs his own shoulders and goes like this, and all his flesh turns into stone, and he stands there like ready to defend. It's your turn again.
Flesh turns into stone, huh? Well, there's not a lot I can do
He's
as a
moving
bear.
still. He's moving still. Like he's like, you know what I mean? He's not a statue. He's like skin is stone.
All right, give me just a second. I need to pull up the bear stat sheet.
Kind of bear.
Technically, a brown bear is what it's
You-
offering me here.
Even though you're a bear, the crystal you brought with you, the stone from the hourglass, is now like kind of just absorbed into your possessions, but you kind of know it to be on your hip. You feel your hip, like where the stone probably transferred when you transformed, feeling kind of warm. That
Okay.
pulsing, the countdown pulsing has stopped, and it's now starting to intensify its heat.
It's not like painful or anything, is it?
Nope.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you have your phone in your pocket and the screen's on, and you're like, oh, wait, why is my phone hot?
So the bear makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its claws. It has +5 to hit for both, so I'll just roll both hits first. The first for the bite, the second for the claws.
Cool.
So this is going to be +5. 16 for the bite.
16 to hit.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that hits.
For the claws. 17. So that hit, this is going to hit too. So they will both hit. And the bite attack is 1d8 plus 4 piercing damage. Sorry, I had a lot of windows to go through. So for 9 damage, and then the claws are 2d6 plus 4 slashing.
The bite, when you bite into them, you feel your bare teeth hit that solid stone,
Mhm.
but then crunch through like a shell and like tear a piece of them off. And then you follow it up. Is that 11 damage?
I actually rolled that wrong. It should be 2d6 plus 4.
Oh, okay. You want to re-roll it?
Yeah. So 12.
Even better. So you're crunched through his shoulder, just like a big piece of the stone comes off. Like if he forms back into flesh, his arm won't be attached. But then you take your claw and bring it across his stone head, and it rips half of his stone face off.
Well, that's satisfying.
This old man kind of like tumbles to the ground now as his body, the stone goes away. He's left a bunch of flesh and blood, and is just laying there lifeless.
As a bear, she'll
And-
eat him.
Yeah, and you can now. Now he's like old man flesh. So as you're eating him, the bat speaks to you again in Strahd's voice, and it's filled with a malevolent satisfaction, praising your actions. Ah, Juniper, what surprising resolve you've shown. By silencing the mad mage, you've cleared the board of a significant piece. Remember our accord, and my hand shall never be raised against you. And as for your kin, the forest gnomes of Barovia, they shall thrive under my benevolent gaze so long as you remain their beacon.
Satisfying.
After he says that the heat of the gem kind of increases, and you see a big white flash. All right. So now we will switch over to... What did I do? What did I write down? Juniper, you had the lowest initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was going in kind of like reverse order here.
Golf rules.
Yep. Alaric. Well, this isn't really initiative. It was a different kind of thing. Okay. Alaric. So this is all kind of happening in parallel, just for, sake of time passing. So you guys, so now we'll jump back to Alaric. You're down there. The whole thing happens with the abbot. You see the bright white flash right as Strahd leaps at Van Richten, and you see Spargle still standing up there. Okay. All right. So sorry there, Adam.
No problem.
All right. So, Alaric, you suddenly find yourself I'll keep unveiling stuff on this map as we go if you haven't figured out what I'm doing here. So you find yourself standing at a different time and place on the mound of Yester Hill, if you remember that place. And the hill itself is charged with a mystical energy, sort of a dark night. You throw a little picture up here. You hear like tribal chanting and drums. You feel like there's this big event or ritual or something substantial happening. The skies are a little bit darker than you'd seen before, and the hills seem to pulsate with this like raw, like earthly energy. And you see like tribes people just kind of right out of your sight, kind of in the darkness. You can't really focus on them. They're all looking at you like sort of, they're kind of like focused on you or turned towards you. So as you move up the hill, you kind of feel drawn towards the top of the hill. You see a man in a massive, imposing figure walking right towards you, the same direction, very dead set, walking towards you. And he's a massive berserker barbarian looking guy holding a big fancy looking long great sword. He's got tribal tattoos all over you. You know in your being this is Kavan. He looks at you and he walks at you with just sort of like a stoic kind of purpose, but then he starts to look a little angry, and he gets closer to you and says, "You, imposter, wielder of my legacy without earning its honor. Have you come to mock my tribe, to belittle my legacy? Prove you're not an unworthy thief, and show me the blood that courses through your veins."
Okay. How far away from him am I?
10 feet.
So he wants me to show him my blood? That's what he asked?
That's what he said. What he said was, "Show me the blood that courses through your veins. Prove that you're not a thief, that you didn't inherit his legacy unwarranted."
I'm not ready for all this.
I see Velaki on fire again.
So,
The-
so
The tribes people, when Chieftain or when Kavan says that, the tribes people are like beating their shield. You just hear them in rhythm, like in unison. Boom, boom, boom.
It's Makara.
right, yeah, exactly. So Alark would take the blood spear off of his back and kind of hold it out and look at him and say, "Is this why you think I'm an imposter?" Looking at the spear.
He stares at you. And he says, "You hold the spear and you assume my title without earning it. How do I know you're worthy to carry on my legacy? And not just someone that rummaged through my grave." And at that, he takes a swing at the spear, tries to knock it out of your hand. But you're not close enough to him. He just kind of like swats at it, but doesn't knock it out of your hand.
And Alark was already holding it loosely in his hand. He
didn't make contact with it.
he wouldn't move, and he would stick his hand out a little bit further for him to swat it out of his hand.
Oh, so you relinquish the title of chieftain and don't care to carry on my legacy. You give this back willingly and relinquish your title.
Come and get it. I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here.
Chieftain doesn't answer to anybody. Set it at my feet and walk away.
I have no idea, like, how I got here, what's going on, right? I literally just appeared here, right? So, like, I can't just...
I mean, you more than anybody heard it very clearly, the abbot and him saying that he was going to buy you some time to follow your destiny and send you to some time and place, and then you popped away to here.
Okay.
When you're kind of like just like saying like, I just want to get out of here and have your spear back, the tribes people start hissing. They stop their pounding and they just start going like boo hiss kind of.
You said hissing, not pissing.
No, right, hissing.
Okay.
You also feel that gem getting warm in your pocket.
Alark would just kind of stay the course and say, I have no quarrel with you, Kavan. I'm not trying to steal anybody's titles. I'm just grasping at every advantage I can get in this godforsaken place so I can get out of here. And the key to me getting out of here is finding a way to kill this son of a bitch Strahd.
He doesn't. The name Strahd doesn't seem to even like trigger anything in him. The hissing and the disappointment of the people of the tribes people kind of continues. And Kavan turns his back to you now. Doesn't take the spear. Looks at his people and he said, "As I told you, imposter. The true chieftain will come someday, but not until they can best me in battle." And with his back to you and to those people, that gem heats up in your pocket and your vision goes white. All right. So next we'll be at Thornton.
Oh hell yeah!
Adam, remember, this is all kind of happening in parallel. So I will get back to you. Some things happen here. All right. Thornton. Same thing as everybody else. When the abbot did his thing, your vision went white, and suddenly you find yourself at the front door of the Blue Water Inn in Valaki. It's
I knew
not
this was
burnt
going to
down.
involve a tavern. Yeah.
It's not burnt down. It actually looks beautiful. In fact, your quick assessment is like Valaki looks like it was in better shape than when you guys had been there.
Okay.
And so you open the door, and within the Blue Water Inn, the place that
There's
you
a
know
wench
pretty
with
well.
big tits. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you talk. You're the DM. I'm sorry.
There's not, though. It's eerily like empty. Like the familiar like clamor of patrons is eerily absent. And there's candles and stuff, and it's warm and nice, and there's food and drink, but there's a lone figure, a striking young man, who sits contemplatively, deep in thought, at a bar, immersed in a drink. He's sipping a big flagon of wine. And of course, you're drawn towards the man, because he's the only one in here. And so he kind of just looks up at you, kind of nonchalant, not surprised to see you, and almost kind of looks down at the chair next to him. This is what he looks like.
Some lead. I would imagine there's a seat next to him or across from him. Is he at the bar or a table?
Yep. He's at the bar. He's at the bar where whatever the two Mardikas were always manning it, and there's one
And
right next to him around the corner.
Do I recognize him at all? I don't recognize him.
You don't.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's just me and him, right?
Yeah. And he doesn't seem to be doing anything interesting, but when he sees you, he kind of like nods and
I'd walk up.
You feel
next.
like
I'd say to him, "Hey, hello, young lad. Is this seat taken? Would you like to have a drink?"
He looks around and he says, and he chuckles when you say, "Is the seat taken?" And he says, "Yeah, absolutely. Please join me. It's trying to distract myself."
Oh, where's the bar wench?
They.
It's just us, friend.
It is. She said there was something she had to take care of and to help myself, and I kind of know the owners, so he goes, "Here, let me grab you something," and he just he just reaches over. He's been nursing a big bottle of grape mash.
Oh, great.
No,
man.
he's got the
Okay,
cheaper
yeah,
stuff.
the
and
cheap
he-
stuff.
and he-
Okay,
and but he pours you a glass.
yeah. It smells good. Smells regular. I don't detect any poison or any. It's regular.
Make an insight check.
Okay. I'd like to do it like nonchalant if possible. Like I'm not trying to let him know like, "Oh, did you give me poison, friend?" Like I'm trying to kind of, that makes sense.
Yep.
22.
22. Both his intentions, the wine, everything. It's kosher.
Yeah, it's kosher. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So I'd say, what are we drinking to, young man?
He says, "Well, I'm on a mission," and he goes, "And I'm not really excited about it, so I'm just trying to, liquor up a little bit before I go out and go do it."
I am trying to lick her up too, if you know what I mean. No, sorry, no, that's out of care. I'm just kidding. I would ask him, so what's your name anyway, young sir?
He goes, "Well, I'm kind of a private guy." He goes, I don't know if we know each other well enough. Maybe after a drink or two." He goes, I don't recognize you, and you're definitely not from around here."
I would say, well, that's funny because I don't recognize you, and it doesn't seem like you're from around here either.
He says, "Well, yeah, I'm a regular here." He goes, I don't mean to, be rude, but you're as tall as most Barovians."
And I'd say the same about you.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyhow,
Let's drink to you, young man. How about that? And your youth
Thanks.
and vitality.
I like it. New to new friends, and make a persuasion check on that one.
Okay. 17.
17.
Hot
He got a
tonight.
he got a 14. So he says he goes yeah, to new friends, and I've had a couple drinks. He says, maybe somebody with an outsider perspective is who I need to talk to right now. So yeah, maybe it's Providence that we ran into each other tonight. And he refills his wine, clinks it to yours, and he says, to new friends. And but then he looks lost in thought again, and he keeps like drifting off and seeming like kind of bummed out.
I would go to touch his shoulder, but not like in a seductive, like sexual way. Just like in a friendly way. And I would try and channel some of my light powers to make him feel warmth, because I do have an aura.
Ooh, I like
The
this.
aura. What's the aura? It's fucking aura of courage.
Ooh,
So-
okay, I really like this.
So he seems. I would say to him, let me ask you something. I put my shoulder on him. I mean, I don't put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, "What are you scared of, lad? What's on your mind?"
All right, make another persuasion with advantage.
Ooh, okay, 20, and then I did the 1 because I didn't hear advantage, but we'll take the 20 on that.
Yeah, unless you roll natural 20, which would be even better, but that's good.
That'd
Yeah.
be fantastic.
So slugs another sip of wine, and he says, "I got to tell you," he goes, and he says, I was really worried about my mission tonight, or my job tonight. He tries to correct himself. Says, but just talking to you has me feel a little bit more inspired. I think I can go tackle this. He goes, I think I'm going to get out there and see who these strangers are.
Tackling fuel, yeah. So he says that I say you'll do well, young man. I could see it in your eyes. You have a gleam to you.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know if it's the liquid courage or just, maybe getting a little bit off my chest, but I feel really good about seeing who these new people are that that my boss is keeping tabs on.
Ah, you want to tell me more about that, new friend?
Make another persuasion check.
Are
Are you doing anything with that, or just asking him for more?
I'm about to bop him in the head with a fucking chair if he doesn't tell me what I want. 14.
14. You rolled a 2. He says, he goes, Davian. Davian's my boss's name. He's got me going out to that old windmill. Guess there's some strange new people showed up. They're just wandering around. I got to either warn them or figure out if they're going to be causing more trouble.
So I just look at him and I nod and I do the hand thing with the bird, the hand thing.
He looks at you and he kind of opens his
And I wink.
jacket.
I give him a wink. Yeah.
When you do that, he looks a little confused for a second, but then I think he kind of like gets it, and he opens his jacket a little bit.
This is the idiot who does the thing with the hands that they all talk about.
And he pulls out a little bit. He just pulls out a silver feather, this tiny silver feather, and then slides it back into his coat. And then he closes it like that, and he goes, and he looks at you to see if there's any recognition. You feel the stone in your pocket getting warm.
I would say to him, have you ever been to a vineyard, lad?
He winks and nods. He goes, so we have similar friends then, huh?
Aye, it would seem we have some mutual friends.
Well, then I feel even.
Caw.
He looks at you and he goes, I don't think that's actually the signal, but yeah, you must have met some of my family.
I've heard of you. You're that guy. Okay.
He says, well, I mean, this has been great, but I can't drink anymore. That old windmill's a little dangerous, so I guess I'll be heading off. It was really great meeting you.
Who the fuck did Crocus kill? The fuck was his name?
Nathaniel Swift?
Thank you, Amber.
Wasn't even that.
Thank you. My memory isn't very good anymore. So I have this realization as he's saying this. Thornton does, right? And I look him dead in the eyes and I say, "Lad, are you Nathaniel Swift?"
He almost falls off his chair, kind of steps back a little bit, and now he looks now he looks apprehensive, and he's like,
This is crazy.
"We haven't met. What's going on here? Did Danica send you? Is this a joke? Are you trying to set me up to fail this mission? You know it's important. They know it's important for me. This is how I'm proving myself."
Lad, I've come to save you.
Save me. Come on. Actually, I'm running late. That stone in your pocket's getting super hot as he starts to stand up and like put his glass behind the counter.
Avoid the lad with the crossbow.
All right. Go ahead and let's see. So you yell that as your sort of vision's going white.
That was cool. That was fucking cool.
Well, I need you to make a roll though.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Just make a just roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier.
Excuse me.
13.
13. Okay. So, as your vision's fading, you see him look back and he hears what you said and he stops and you see him ponder it for a second. It seems to like click with him. Whatever you said, he seemed to have heard as you fade away.
Oh
Deckard.
man, that was cool.
All right. Now, Deckard, same as everybody else. You see the abbot come in, the column of light, the tendril of light come towards you, and pop. You are now find yourself somewhere else. You find yourself somewhere you've never been in Barovia. You're deep up into some kind of mountains and caves, and you're just. Actually, you're walking as your vision kind of comes out of white and you start to like kind of focus on things around you. You're already walking just towards this basically side of like a rocky mountainous area, but there's a very clear opening, a cave opening with like a light that's drawing you closer. And you see this like sort of very strange rock formation on the front of the cave. It almost looks like it's like it's a natural formation, but somehow it's like carved in the shape of like a big jaw, a big maw. And more so than anywhere you've been in Barovia, you hear wolves howling in every direction and just a cacophony of wolf sounds coming out of this cave. So you keep walking forward. And you start to hear some shouting and yelling in both human language and wolf snarling. And you walk up onto this scene and you see some like human figures. You see a dark-skinned woman and a couple others who are just standing there watching this all happen. And then you see two larger dudes, a big dark skinned dude and a big white dude with a big black beard, and they are pointing fingers at each other, and they're yelling, and they're saying some stuff, and there's a bunch of people around them, and there's werewolves around them. It's this crazy scene, and they're all yelling. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk to any of the people that
Do
you're
I
buying,
do I
or
recognize any of them?
make a perception check? Or what would be a good check to sort of recall? Spot here, and maybe hey, go ahead and make a perception check.
Like
Should probably
intelligence
just
or
be a
something?
charisma check for everything.
Seems like all the perilous roles that you have to do are charisma.
That's how
Ironically.
it goes.
Did you make that roll already, or are you still fumbling around?
Oh, did you need? Oh, am I making a perception roll or am I making?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, perception will be fine.
Oh, I thought you were changing it.
Nope, perception. Without advantage, just a straight up perception, just to see if you remember.
10.
10. The dark skinned woman looks familiar.
So
You can't pin. You're like, I mean, the fact that you find her familiar at all strikes you as odd.
dang it. Hang on. Where's my notes? Trying to find my notes from years ago from that session we did. Damn it. Where's my freaking see if I can find it.
Did you guys hear music at all in Roll20? Because it's bugged.
I hear it.
I hear it.
I don't hear it.
Here we go.
Ha!
So I think I recognize her or I don't. So like, you know, Deckard recalls like you know, this group of people that helped him tame his bestial issues. Like Dane and Bardis and Elise. Emil. Like any of these people, like, do I recognize any of them?
So when you recall Emil, and you're like, who are those people? And you're looking at the guys yelling at each other, the dark skinned black guy, you're like, that looks a lot like Emil.
Got it. And now we've encountered Kirill. Is Kirill who he's arguing with?
Yes.
So, just out of curiosity, I don't know if this would change anything, but like, so I have Brand of Castigation on Kirill, which is my thing that lets me know the direction of any person that I've branded. I branded him way back when we were at that tower, when we encountered the werewolves. I shot him with one of my arrows. Like, am I sensing Kirill?
So, no,
Okay.
but yet you're sure it's Kirill, like appearance.
Okay. So they're arguing.
They're arguing, and there's a bunch of kids in a pit. Or there's a pit with two kids in it, right beyond them, as you kind of walk a little bit further. And what you hear them arguing about, to paraphrase the bit of a discussion that you hear, is Kirill seems to be making an argument for not all of these children should become werewolves. We can only take the strongest. They need to fight to the death. And we will take the strongest, the ones that survive can become werewolves and strengthen the core of the pack. The other guy, the dark-skinned guy, Emil, is saying, no, that is not the way to grow the pack. We should let anyone become a werewolf having them fight to the death is only thinning our herd. And that's the base of the argument. They're going back and forth. The dark-skinned woman, you also recognize. She may not have introduced herself, but as you're kind of watching this conversation unfold, she starts looking at you kind of curiously. Because you just walked up, right? She's like, where the hell did this guy come from? And then her eyes go real wide. She doesn't seem to recognize you for some reason. But she gasps and she looks at the Emil and Kirill and says, there's a blood hunter. The Mother Knight has sent a blood hunter to help us make this decision. And they both look at you. Kirill looks very suspicious and doubtful. Emil looks at Zalika and seems to pause.
Okay. So, just to set the scene then, I walk in, I see all these children. I get the sense, I clearly understand that Kirill's arguing for killing some of these children who are making them fight to the death. Emil doesn't. And I arrive. Okay. So, Deckard just nonchalantly tips his cap at the lady that's like a blood hunter. And strolls up and I'm trying to play this right. I'm trying to pay -2 charisma. Comes up and tries to be real cool. Hawks a loogie to spit it, but he kind of messes it up and it goes like in his beard. He kind of wipes it away. And like he's trying to be cool. And he walks up between Emil and Kirill and he says, "What's the predicament, fellas? Seems we got quite a few children here. What y'all arguing about?"
Kirill speaks first, and he kind of interrupts anything Emil or anyone else was going to say, and he says, yeah, so if you are a blood hunter, then Lord Strahd must know of your presence and must have sent you here to carry out his wishes, as you know, which is to strengthen his werewolf tribe, and which is what I'm doing. I think if you were to just give us your blessing, we will do so as instructed.
Well,
blood hunter.
Say it. Never met you before, but it seems like it's been a while since you've talked to Strahd. Things have changed back at the castle.
And how is that?
Well, the way he sees it, strength in numbers. Some of them might die if they're fighting as werewolves, but at least they'll distract the bad guys from taking out the stronger ones.
All right, make a persuasion check.
Yeah, I should have played a bard.
Your strong suit, right?
Oh, here we go. 9.
He laughs, he says, and he looks at the werewolves that are around him. You notice he has a lot more werewolves than the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And he laughs and he says, "No blood hunter. This is blood hunter. He's some kind of invader from another realm. Probably isn't even."
What are you talking about now? You never know me. You're up here in the mountains. You haven't talked to Strahd in forever.
Happen to
You don't know anything about. I interrupt. You don't know anything about Strahd. What do you? He don't even care for you anymore.
Well,
he sent me here. He sent me here to tell you. Listen to what I say, or you're gonna deal with him. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I don't care who you kill in here. You kill me. You kill them. Strahd's waiting for you back at the castle, brother. And you know what they say? I mean, you take 3 spankings on the bare ass, you ain't going to be able to take a pat on the head the next day.
He looks a little bit confused at the end of that, but seems enough concerned that you've referred to Strahd that I'll let you make a intimidation check.
Damn it.
The
Just a-
stone in your pocket's getting warm.
Just a maniac.
Alright. Come
Oh.
on, I just get no rolls.
Damn.
You almost don't finish, and Kirill just he laughs and he says, clearly this blood hunter is someone that Emil and his crew have sent here to try to deceive us. He goes, take Emil, take him to Castle Ravenloft.
Before he
Lord
finishes,
Strahd.
I pull my crossbow and fire one right in his head.
Okay. Make
Flaming
an attack.
crossbow.
Make an attack.
18.
18 hits.
So 9 damage from the bolt. That's magical. Another 2 damage from the fire.
So 11.
Yep.
So it strikes
Seems
him right in. It strikes him right in the shoulder and kind of spins around, shocks him. Some of the humans start turning into werewolf form. Some of the werewolves start spinning back. Like this is like this moment of like shock. Like you just rolled in. You're like you just shot Lincoln, and the whole theater's going crazy, right? Like that. Like this is like all of a sudden both sides just jump into action, and it just becomes this chaos. And the woman, the dark-skinned woman who you've kind of like pieced together is probably Emil's partner, and who had talked to you before. She seems to kind of like lead a group that was off in the side. As your vision starts to go white, you see her side and Emil and the others with this just sudden like rush of courage from your attack, swarming the other side. But that's all you see, and you dip away.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Ragnar. Wait a minute. I missed it. Where was Alaric in this whole mess?
I was second after Juniper.
Or no,
He was
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Kavan. He
That's
was
'cause I
fighting
don't have
Kavan.
Sparkle on here. That's why. Thought I missed somebody. Okay. Okay. Ragnar. Sorry, we'll get around it. Sorry we took a minute. Got around to you here. Where are you at? I'm just trying to get used notes out of my way so I can be more organized. All right, so Ragnar. You find yourself in a kind of familiar place. You're not sure the time, but it's cold and it's snowy here, and there's a big curtain of mist on the side of the back of the village of the village of Kresk, where you'd been, with the abbey and all that, where you'd been for some time. But you find yourself on the far end of the town where you haven't been before. Just as part of the little kind of like nook of Kresk that you guys just didn't happen to explore. And there's a beautiful like pool there, and it has like a dim light, even in like the moonlight, kind of weird Barovian overcast sky. There's a little bit of light kind of shining on this pond, and there's trees arching over the pool, and their leafy fingers are skimming the water. It gives this like a really like somber, like meditative, like just chill kind of place. And you're kind of almost enamored by this weird contemplative atmosphere. So as you step closer to the pool, though, the temperature starts to drop. It gets like oddly cold. Like there's not snow or anything around here, but it's just like the whole like just the air temperature drops the closer you get to the pool, and the wind starts to sound almost like songs and ancient lullabies, and there's like these ripples in the pool, and you start to see this like glow, like this shape starting to form at the edge of the pool.
So, first of all, am I covered in blood for this, or am I okay?
You are still. You're kind of like you were just ripped right how you were. You kind of you were huffing it up the stairs. You saw the abbot come in. You paused for a moment, but you're still kind of like sweaty, and you got little chunks of crystal glass in your sleeves and all that. Yep.
All right, so Ragnar would feel that this was some sort of a special place, so he would like to wash the blood off, but he's not gonna do that in that water because it looks important. You know, he feels like it would be a desecration. So he just kind of like tries to wipe some stuff out of his beard and looks around. And then you said there's something forming at the edge.
Yeah, it's kind of like a few feet off of the edge, but you walk up to the pool of water, and it's nice. I mean, it smells good. It doesn't have that like algae smell. It's like good, clear, cool water, and you're able to clean yourself off real nice, just on your face and stuff. But that glowing image in the pool starts to solidify and form into what looks like an image of like a young nobleman. And he's kind of like, he's not like looking at you, staring right at you. He's kind of like looking off to the side. And he's got this like look of like lost or yearning.
Does he look familiar to me?
No.
No, like resemblance to anybody we've met?
Nope. In fact, if you're going to focus on him a little bit, I'll kind of give you a picture of like roughly what he looks like.
Okay. Does he seem aware of me?
As you're splashing water on your face and stuff, the image does turn towards you. It doesn't say anything. It just kind of watches you.
So I would kind of stand up straight and look over at him and kind of nod and say, "Greetings, friend. What brings you to this secluded pool?"
The image now then turns and looks directly at you and says, oh, another one comes around to talk to me. This is nice. But you don't seem from this village. And then he switches topics and he just drifts off and he says, it's been lifetimes. I still search for her, my lost love.
So when he says that, internally Ragnar is starting to feel a little weird when he says that. But he wouldn't say anything yet. Yeah, I'm not from around here. I'm from the Dwarven Kingdom of Mithril Hall. You ever heard of it, friend?
No, I haven't. That must not be in this veil. But I've been here for so long.
Well, you should visit it one day if you can. How long you been living here?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm living, but I'm here, and I'll be here forever.
You mentioned a lost love. I've lost some people myself. That can be challenging. If you wanna talk to a weary traveler, you can lay your burdens on me, because I've been through it, as you can see. Point to all the blood and stuff.
I like it. Make a persuasion check with advantage. He's starting to like pay more attention to the words you're saying than just kind of like loosely.
Just 10.
10. He says, yeah, she was taken from me in a swirl of jealousy and rage.
That's all he says.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have all?
And he kind of drifts away again. You're kind of losing his attention a little bit.
Do I have all my possessions with me?
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, I think I threw the book at Strahd, right? Or I threw the book at I don't know.
You slammed it down on the table or something in the dining hall after you kind of like spilled the beans in front of Irina and everything. I don't know if you left it in the dining hall or picked it back up. I'll let you decide.
I don't think I threw it. I'm just gonna look at him, and I'm gonna say, "Listen, friend, we don't have a lot of time. You sound like someone may have read about, and you bear a family resemblance, possibly, to someone who I've heard described. Are you the brother of Strahd von Zarovich?"
When you say that, the spectral image starts to spin around like crazy. You see not his face, but you see like this montage of these little images. You see this beautiful woman who's like laughing, and he's like spinning around, and they're dancing in a fucking garden or whatever stuff. She's wearing a beautiful pendant, and the nobleman's handing her a gift, and they're hugging, but then over their shoulder, like in every one of these scenes, there's this like imposing just image, this dark figure dripping with shadows, just kind of looming over, looking over. And after all that swirling around and all that stuff, and his image comes back, and now he looks very alert and very like staring right at you. And he says, "I am Sergei von Zarovich. I don't know where you would have read of me, but my brother is why I'm here."
"Sergei, I read your brother's diary. Seems like he made a deal with death on the night that he killed you. And he wanted to take away your bride. He did it, in his own words, he did it out of jealousy. And he did it because he felt like you had the strength of youth, and he wasted all his youth on military campaigns. He killed his best friend, he killed you, and he made a deal with death. And I'm covered in blood right now because I'm in the middle of fighting him."
He looks shocked, in awe, surprised. How do you know so much about this? This is some trick that my brother has sent to torment me further in unlife.
"This dwarf doesn't lie. We broke into the castle, and I read his diary. In his own hand, he admitted all of this. And he has your beloved now under a spell. She
When you
keeps getting
say-
reborn."
When he almost interrupts you, or his look, when you say he has your beloved, he looks in awe and then confused, and he says, "Tatiana died so many centuries ago."
"Sergei, she keeps getting reborn as part of his punishment and deal with death. Right now, she's someone named Irina, but it's Tatiana, and she's in his possession right now."
At that moment, the spectral hand, when you're saying this, his eyes start welling up with tears, and this spectral hand just like struggles to reach out of the water just to touch yours, almost in a grasp for like just compassion. But
I would reach out. I would
okay.
reach out too.
And you feel substance enough that like you can grab this like cold corporeal hand, and this joyful shining comes across his eyes, and he says, and as he starts to say this, the stone in your pocket starts to warm up, but he says, "To know that her spirit still lingers, that love continues to endure, I am forever in your debt." And the whole pool starts to glow softly. He says, "In the battle that awaits you, know that I am with you. I will lend my strength to you in the darkest hours." And that stone starts to get warmer and warmer. Your vision starts to turn white. And that, but at the last moment, his look kind of changes. It like sharpens and looks concerned. He says, "However, the blade that once belonged to me, it is no longer with one who truly values its significance. One in your group is not fit to bear it. Retrieve it, for its power combined with mine will be crucial in your confrontation with my brother." And then your vision goes white.
I would try to say, "Thank you, Sergei. We'll avenge you."
All right. And so your vision goes for white. And we will come back to the tower and Spargle here. Why don't we take a 5-minute break? Because I got to go to the bathroom.
Cool.
Start at
Sounds
5
good.
after, if we can. All right. Cool, cool.
Sounds good.
How you doing, dude?
Good, how are you?
Good. I miss your musk.
Yeah?
I'm gonna smell it on Friday. It's gonna come in and sniff your neck.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I saw Crocus today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's good. Kid's coming.
Love that guy. Wait, what?
Got a kid coming in March.
I thought they had a miscarriage.
She did? Not this time.
They
Who are you
got-
talking about?
Yeah, they're having a boy.
Holy
Who's that?
crap!
Late
I wish
March.
I'd known this. I just gave away so much baby stuff.
Yep.
Holy crap!
I didn't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's very much public knowledge. I just
Oh.
assumed people knew. So I don't know. You know how it is.
He has not told me. If I'd known, I would have. We just gave away bins of baby clothes. I bet we still have some stuff in the basement. Good for him.
Yeah. He's doing
Are
good.
they-
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to catch up with him. Wow.
Sorry, who are you guys talking about?
Crocus.
Anybody I know?
Crocus.
Oh, right. I didn't know that they were. That's good. Good for them. I'll
You guys-
resume when Sparkle gets back.
You guys gonna do the digital BlizzCon?
Yeah, I probably will. It's next weekend, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd wanna
not this
watch
weekend,
some-
but next.
Yeah, I want to watch.
We could
some
do
Crocus.
something. We could do something kind of informal. Get together and do some shit if we want to watch like the keynote or something.
I'm down. Yeah,
What
I
is
can't.
it? Is it
Friday night.
Friday, Saturday? Is that what it is?
It's a Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
We'd have to take Friday some time off work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday, I've got Max is playing at the Q, playing hockey.
No shit. That's
awesome.
cool.
He's playing in a game right before the Monsters game.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh,
That's
wow,
way
no
more
shit.
important
That's
than
awesome.
Fucking BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot it's Friday, so I'll probably just like.
Yeah.
Do I have to? In order
I
to
wanna
I have
watch
to
the-
buy it, right? I have to pay for it.
Well, I think they stream the opening ceremony like free, like the keynote.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much all I care about. So I'll probably watch that
Sorry.
live, like at work or whatever, or I'll have it on and half pay attention to it.
What do we care? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is there gonna be?
I want to
like-
watch. They brought back, and the last time they did it was when we were there, Dan. They brought back the Overwatch World Cup, which I kind of want to watch.
That's cool. Watching that live and that little arena thing that they set up was really cool.
That was so cool. That was
That was-
awesome.
They did that well.
I just want to see whatever their announcements are. I don't need to know all the nitty gritty details, but
Has everybody but me played Diablo 4 like through the whole campaign?
I haven't played it.
I played through the campaign. It was a lot of fun. I thought I was gonna get into the end game stuff, like
Like
grinding
the
gear.
seasonal, like
Yeah, and it's cool because the gameplay is phenomenal, and I instantly lost interest. No discredit to the game at all. It's just me. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No,
I get
I
it.
don't want to just grind gear.
Yeah, it's
I've
like-
never done that with Diablo.
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
I love the game. The cutscene, dude.
Yeah.
Some of the cutscenes were awesome. If you actually pay attention to the story, it was pretty cool. And one of the later pretty much end game cutscenes is so long and epic that you should never watch a video or spoiler, and it's worth playing through the game. I think.
Yeah.
It's worth the 5-minute video. But it was cool. Glad I played it.
I burned out hard on Baldur's Gate 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I played it so much, like a copious amount of hours over the course of 6 weeks. It's one of the best games I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
But I played it so much, I just hit a wall.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've still been chipping away at it. I play a couple hours a week.
Did you complete the storyline, Deckard?
no, I've gotten into Act 3. So
Okay.
I've got all kinds of threads that I haven't completed, but you get to Baldur's Gate and there's so much
Yeah.
that it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
and I
it
think
does.
combined with that and how much I was playing, I just hit a wall. And I'll
Yeah,
come
you-
back to it, but it's like I need a break. Anyway,
Step away.
I know we gotta keep going.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, step
Sparkle.
away for a while.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna get going with you, Punch. I don't know if Amber and Matt are both back, but
I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Cool. So that all happened sort of in parallel. You guys all had your thing, and your vision went white. But rewind back in time to you, Sparkle, as this divine light that the abbot conjured pulled all the party members away. You kind of are still there. You didn't get sucked away for some reason. You saw everybody sort of pop away. And at that moment, you're just standing there in front of Strahd. And the room is thick with tension. And really the only, just very little light coming in, but it's lighting up Strahd's eyes. And he still has a tight grip on Van Richten's neck as he flies up from the floor where Ragnar and Alaric were. So when they popped away, he kind of flies up to the balcony that you're on. You're on the little spiral thing where everybody was at, and he brings Van Richten up near you. And he turns to you, and he kind of throws Van Richten to the ground, and you see that Van Richten has 2 holes now in his neck with little drops of blood around him. And Strahd is kind of licking the corners of his lips. And he turns to you, and his voice is filled with a sense of camaraderie and tinged with a little bit of menace. And he says, "Spargle, my friend, it appears destiny has fast-tracked our arrangement. Do you remember our deal? The power, the dominion, the future of Barovia, it can all be yours." And I'll show a nice little picture of the castle you could own one day. as well as Strahd and Van Richten. And Van Richten's still trying. He's like super weak. He's trying to get up. He's like teetering on the edge of the little balcony thing, and he looks up at you, and he kind of like weakly reaches his arm up, and he says, "Whatever he promised, it's a lie. Don't be a puppet to this monster," he pleads. And so then Strahd laughs at that. Strahd laughs at that, and he says, yeah, anyhow. Now, for our arrangement to truly solidify, there's a task you must undertake. He's talking to you, Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
He gestures at the beaten up Van Richten. He says, end him. Complete the heart's restoration with his life force. It's a small price for the immense power you will wield as the new Lord of Barovia. And then he hands you the hilt end of an electrum-plated dagger.
You've betrayed me before. What assurances do I have at this crossroads?
My word is the only assurance you should need. If I wanted to take your life, I'd take your life. If I wanted to take Van Richten's, I'd take his. I'm leaving you the choice.
I'll take the blade. And I'll attack Van Richten with it.
Make an attack.
I'm so good with weapons.
This little sneaky
Oh, we're gonna get him.
growing up on the freaking doorstep of a burning building 4 years ago.
Yeah, and then he killed a bunch of kids.
Sink the blade into Van Richten, whose life force drains from his eyes as he spills off the balcony, down, down, down into the crystal pile of shards.
I just say shh
As
as I
it's going.
sink the blade in.
And you actually feel this enormous rush all of a sudden as the heart that you all have destroyed starts to reshape. It's a little misshapen. The crystal shards are all kind of like clumping together. But as Van Richten's blood kind of pours out into these crystal, it starts to grow back into the shape of a heart and float back up into the chamber. Yet you feel some kind of bond to this heart. I'll explain that in a second. And then he looks at you and he says, well then, I guess we just finish off the rest of this group and then we'll complete our deal. And once that happens, or once he says that and he kind of laughs a little bit, all of your friends, everybody kind of almost on cue, moments later, pops back into view. Everybody whose eyes went white, it kind of clears. You guys are all in a different part of the chamber that you're in right now, but we're kind of similar. You're just back up on the shift this around a little bit. Okay. So you guys find yourself now wherever you were at, in whatever time and place you were at, besides Sparkle, you guys all find yourself back in this chamber. And you look up and you see Sparkle and Strahd kind of up on the stairs. And if you look down below and you see this glowing heart, all kind of like, it literally looks like someone like shattered it and then like stuck it all together with glue and like just packed it together in the rough shape of a heart. So it's like kind of like half-assed, but it's like floating back up the middle of the spire. And that's where you're at now. It's kind of at that moment, Sparkle, that everybody popped back in, that Strahd said, like, let's just take out the rest of it. Now we know what we need to do. We need to take out the rest. Let me pause here before we get started and explain a little bit of out of character, some things that have happened because of what went down. Spargle, I don't have anything to share with you right now.
Okay.
Ragnar, you helped Sergey. So in combat, no, sorry, I'm just going to hold on that for a second. Deckard, you feel as you kind of come back, you kind of get the sense that you helped influence whatever the confrontation was with the werewolves of Barovia towards the side of Emil. You feel more confident. Say again?
Was it the Mother Night children?
Yes, right. The children of Mother Night. You now have full control of your Blood Hunter ability while you're in Barovia. You no longer take any necrotic damage from any blowback damage from your rights and stuff like that. So anywhere where it tells you need to take necrotic damage, you can ignore that.
Snap. Okay.
Oregon, you helped Nathaniel Swift avoid the fate which you all know that he had to do, or that he was to befall. And so that might be important at some point, but I'll just leave it at that for now. Alaric, as you flash back, you feel less confident in your role or your position or your aspect of being this blood chieftain. The blood spirit Kavan feels shifty in your hands. You don't feel as calm. It feels like it's not, but it almost kind of feels like it's trying to get out of your hands, or it feels like it's not as sure and confident anymore. You just can't get a good grip on it as you're holding it. It's weird. It just strikes you as like this feels awkward all of a sudden. And Juniper, as you pop back into view, Strahd looks at you and kind of nods and seems to be kind of happy with you and doesn't look at you threatening in any way.
Well, I don't know how the rest of you are going to get out of this, but I think I'm good.
and Strahd does kind of like look around the room. He looks down. The abbot's now gone. The light has went away. His mortal enemy Van Richten is now just a pile on the ground, and the Heart of Sorrow has been rebuilt. And he kind of has a smile on his face. And I want everybody to roll initiative.
Oh God! So Spargle's gonna be an ad that we have to kill probably.
An ad?
Kill
the ads.
Wait! I'm sorry. Hold on. Don't roll initiative yet. It'll help. I'm sorry. Just re-roll if you can.
Oh, but I got a 19. Can I keep that?
Mm. Yeah, you can. You can. It's fine. Just tell me what you got.
I got a 19.
You got 19. Okay. I just didn't want to put them all in.
All right. So who's gonna kill Spargle? Who wants? Let's let Deckard do it. I think he would enjoy it.
I was chummy with him, so I don't want to cleave his skull.
Son of a bitch brought us here. Now he's turning on us. I ain't been this mad at anybody since my Aunt Sally had sex with my mom.
Jerry. I didn't even know you guys, and now I'm here dealing with this shit. Ragnar didn't even want to come here.
I'm just trying to be an old retired archaeologist.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do archaeology things. I got that little brush. I'm just looking at bones and shit.
All right.
Thanks, Blackwin.
Remember when we were just drinking in Phandelver for free because we saved everybody?
Oh, I was trying to be nice with the goblins. That was the least of our problems.
back.
All right, so let's see. It's going to go Ragnar, Thoradin, Alaric, and then Deckard. I'll get the turn order loaded up in here. But that's where we're at. Ragnar, you get to go first.
Great. So good. I'm so happy about it.
And then Thoradin, you're going to be up next.
Oh, I'm plotting.
Alright, what do I gotta use this stupid ruler thing?
That's polymorph on Spargle.
Oops. And Juniper. I'm getting the turn orders loaded up here. Right, Ragnar, it's your turn.
Okay.
Wait, is it your turn? It is your turn. I don't know why I'm asking a question. Since it's your turn, you hear in your head, like Obi-Wan Kenobi style, you hear
shit.
Sergei's voice.
What's he saying?
He says, "You must find the sword. You can't defeat my brother without it."
Can I commune with him without speaking audibly? Like, can I say something in my head?
Yeah, you could try.
I would try to impart on him that the other one that looks like me, the other dwarf, had it, and it went missing mysteriously, and I don't know who has it. Is there some kind of way that he can guide me to who has it?
I can only sense that it's in the hands of an evil one.
Spargle.
Okay. I'm pretty close to Juniper. How's she look to me? Like,
She looks like a bear.
oh, she's a bear still?
She's a bear,
Yeah, so it's
That's
all
a
of
good point.
you and a bear. So
That's right.
She's
That's
a
right.
bear.
That's a
Okay.
good point. When you guys all snap back, Juniper's a bear. In fact, if anybody else has any different like appearance or anything has changed, remind us or call that out.
Okay.
I specifically remember because it's my last wild shape. So good luck, guys.
Okay. So I hear Sergei say that in my head. All right, I'm pretty far from Thoradin. I'm gonna just scream across, because this is a void in the middle, right? It's where I fell.
Right. Yeah, it's right. That's the center of the huge. You're in a huge spire tower, and it's got a big opening, drops way down, and you can kind of have to fight around the staircase. Strahd and Spargle are like above you on the staircase, like going up and around. And then if you look at this like sort of dark area over here, that's going back down.
Okay, so I would have to get to them. I have to go towards where Lark is,
Right.
or the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I would move. I'm gonna move. Where's the thing? Okay. I'll move over there. Actually, I'm gonna move. All right, stop it. I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna just scream at Spargle. I'm gonna just scream, Spargle! We trusted you!
Hey, Ragnar!
I tried to save you when you were on those drugs. I've worked with you. We've deciphered symbols together. I know you took the sword. I know you took the sword. You did save me from falling. I know you have the sword. Give me the sword, Spargle. You can still make up for this.
I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it.
I think I'm Han at this point. I might be Han.
We're on a bridge. It's perfect.
You see me contemplating, but I don't do anything really.
Okay.
Like kind of just like listening to your words. Like
Okay. I would pull out, make sure I have my sword and shield ready. And I would point it at him and be like, you have a chance. You can still make this right. You don't have to do this. And then I would look at Thoradin and Alaric and Deckard and just say, I spoke to his brother. I spoke to Sergei. I think Spargle has the sword and we need the sword. Unless one of you has it, but I don't think so. I think Spargle has it. And we need that sword. So if I gotta rip it out of his little hands, I will. And that's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, if he's shouting this out, everybody in the room can hear it.
the only thing I do is that I just point at the bear. I don't say a word. I just point at the bear.
So I see him point at the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
And then
bear
that's
playing
about,
with rocks? Amber.
I don't think it has access. Like, no,
Hands,
because
right?
she doesn't have access. Yeah.
Like fingers.
Or her gear.
Is the bear thinking of the rocks?
The bear is probably thinking about the rocks.
Okay.
Is that one still warm that she had?
No,
Little
actually,
feedback. Sorry.
the stones in your pockets are all cold now.
They're all inert. I'm not going to be able to get to them, so at the end of my turn, I would just say one of them has the sword. We got to get it back. Making sure my three guys hear it.
All right, and you're staying right there where you're at.
I'm staying there, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, Thoradin, you heard what Ragnar said.
Are we fully aware that Spargle has the sword?
No. Only Ragnar has accused him of that.
All right. I'm about to do some shit here. All right, here we go. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, my holy symbol of Ravenkind, I don't think I have 10 charges. I think it might have slightly less than that. I should have been keeping track of that. That's my fault.
Well, you used one hold vampire charge, right?
Yes, that's 3. Yes, I think that's 3 charges.
That was in the kitchen, right?
Oh, that's 1 charge. Yeah.
That's one. Yeah.
So I would still have 9 charges then.
Yep.
So I want to use. I'm gonna walk to where I just placed my guy, my thing, Thoradin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna pull out the holy symbol of Ravenkind. And I'm gonna look at the both of them, and I'm gonna say, Spargle, blind your eyes, you little wench, you little wretch. And I would murmur some things, and I would present the holy symbol, and then use sunlight.
All right. So you get just in the range that the holy symbol can do its thing, and you spend 5 charges of the holy symbol, and it blasts out 30 feet all around you. Almost daylight like sunlight. It lights up the whole chamber. In fact, just the ambient light from that kind of like lights everything up enough that everybody can see. All right, and it is on. I mean, it is like lit up like the brightest xenon flashlight you've ever seen, just kind of lighting up the whole room. Let's see. Okay, and Strahd is
Blinded by the light. Yep.
I mean, just even before you, because you've pulled the holy symbol out before in the dining room, and so he hisses and his fangs pop out just when you pull it out from under your tunic, and then as the light blasts the room, he starts to like leap backwards, but he is caught in sunlight at the moment.
Okay, great. So
There you go. I like that. Did you do that?
what's that? Oh, the aura. Yeah.
The aura?
Um,
Yeah, perfect. No, that's great.
And then I'll cast Hunter's Mark on fucking. Should I cast it on Spargle? I'm gonna just cast it on Strahd.
Okay. So let's see. He doesn't get a save or anything like that. You're just using a bonus action, so he's got Hunter's Mark on you. So you deal 1d6 more damage whenever you hit him. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Are you using a first level spell slot?
Yeah, first level. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's concentration for 10 minutes.
All right. So you're concentrating on that now. You can only concentrate on one spell at a time. So I don't know if you have any other auras or I don't know anything else. All right.
I think
Awesome.
I think I'm good for right now. Yep.
Okay. You do anything else at this moment?
That will That's gonna be it.
All right, Alaric, you're up.
Do we notice that the sparkle does anything from the light?
The light, other than like kind of annoying his eyes a little bit and having to adjust to it, you don't see any effect on him, anything negative. Unless Sparkle, you have a different opinion or want to say something about what Sparkle does.
I take my little tanning sunglass things. No, I don't. I'm like, whoo. That's it.
And Deckard, you'll be up after Alaric.
So Alaric is gonna just charge at Spargle.
At Sparkle.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I mean, it's probably gonna come out as just gibberish the way things have transpired. It's very confused. What's going on? Who's the enemy? Who's his friend? He's gonna have a spear. So he was a pretty good distance away from Spargle, and he's gonna have a spear in his left hand. And while he's charging up, like I said, he's just yelling and screaming, and it just sounds like just garbage to everybody else. But it's just nonsense. It's just him spewing rage everywhere. And I'm gonna use my rage.
Raging.
Because you're charging at me.
Well. And like I said, I don't know if it's gonna be considered making an attack using I did use a rage charge, but like I said, the weapon's in my left hand, And Lark wants to, if he can, I don't know how this would all work, but Lark wants to grab Sparkle by the neck.
So you're gonna try to grapple him.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if that's possible. Him being so small, me being so big, spear in my left hand.
No,
whatever.
you can run up and try to grapple him.
Okay.
You've all picked me up here or there before.
Right.
I think about it in the past. There's been times for everybody, I think.
And
Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, what do I have to roll for that? Just strength check.
let's see. Yeah.
Is that like an unarmed or something?
Yeah, you just make an attack.
Just an attack
Yep.
with no modifiers.
Hold on a second.
Probably a strength check, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you do. Use one of your attacks to do it.
Okay. So that'll
You make a
that'll,
strength.
that'll
You would probably make a strength athletics check, and then Spargo gets to decide if he wants to counter that with athletics or dexterity. Like if he wants to try to forcefully pull himself back or try to dip away.
Okay.
So it's like a check versus an AC or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
Yep.
before I forget, because I used my rage going up, I'm gonna roll that. I did not do, which is
Just a quick FYI, there's the second aura, the purple one, is courage and devotion aura.
Okay, and you don't have to concentrate on that.
No,
That's
those
just
are just
automatic,
like
right? That's just
as
a
long as I'm
trait.
conscious, yeah.
What are the?
Okay.
Aura of protection is just +2 to saving throws, and an aura of courage is just friendlies within 10 feet can't be frightened.
what did I roll there? 2.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So Alark
So-
uses
so wait.
rage.
Okay.
And then so I'm gonna roll an athletics check. So that's an 11.
All right. So that means, Spargo, you need to counter that with.
I'm going to use dexterity. So I do a dexterity saving.
Yep.
Okay.
No. Just a
Strength plus
deck.
strength, isn't it?
Just a check, not a savings. It's just
Right,
a
a check,
comparison
right.
to the two.
Which
But
one am
isn't
I
it
going now?
strength against strength for grapple?
No, you can decide acrobatic. No, it's an acrobatics or an athletics check.
It's the same-
Punch.
it's
So
the
you
same.
probably want to do acrobatics.
Oh, so I'm doing like not just a dexterity. I have to do like a acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, I think they're the same unless you like would. But if you had like proficiency in acrobatics, you would add your proficiency modifier. Since you don't, it's the same.
Damn, I
It's a
burned
dex
high. Okay, I'll reroll.
check.
17, 19, I guess, with the aura.
Yeah, so Alaric, you run up, but little squirmy little Spargle kind of like dips out of the way. He kind of like does like a little. He's like too little squirrely. You're trying to like grab a cat as it's jumping under the couch, and you miss.
I do the stop.
That's it for me.
That's it.
Yep.
All right, Deckard, and then Spargle. You'll be up after Deckard.
So, oh man, Deckard is the heart. Does it look like? I mean, it's all pieced together. Does it look like it would fall apart easily?
I don't know how to answer that.
Like if it looks like it's glued together, like does it? I don't. Okay.
It's hard to say because it's all like this weird, like mystical glob of
Yeah.
crystalline blood, and yeah, it just looks different. right? Like before, it looked like a one contingent, contiguous like heart. Now it looks like it was shattered and glued back together. I guess is all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. All right. The hell with it. Deckard's gonna move. Like I'm gonna move up to where Sparkle is. I can move 45 feet. It's 20 to there. Another 20 there. So I'm gonna move like I don't want to be. I'm gonna move to this square here. While I'm walking, Deckard transforms into a werewolf. So that takes my bonus action. And pissed off, claws fully sharp swipes at Sparkle. Bear with me here. 27 to hit. Does 27 hit?
I think that hits, right, Sparkle?
Just 27 hit.
As you're
Just barely
attacking,
in my robe.
as you're attacking, Strahd still in the sunlight, so he's not comfortable, but he's you hear him like whisper, or you hear him like kind of like taunting you, Deckard, in a way. He's like, Deckard, so quick to embrace the beast within. Is it vengeance that drives you, or hunger you can't control? Today it's Sparkle, tomorrow who? And then you make your attack.
Oh, I didn't hear that. What'd you say, Strahd? I'd say something. And so I rolled a 4. 11 damage.
All right, Sparkle.
11 damage.
And that is for the purposes of damage. Let me see. Is it? Let me make sure here. Believe that's magical damage. It's 11 damage. And then I'm going to attack him again. $23.
That does hit. Yeah.
I'm assuming that hits, yeah?
Yeah.
14 damage.
That's how it's got to be.
How you doing,
So-
Sparkle?
You good? I mean, I already look dead, but I'm oozing and there's lots
Ooh.
of chunks out of Sparkle. And
Oh God,
It's like-
pustules. Yeah.
The way is shut. It was made by those who are dead.
That
I got
looks so
you guys. I got wailed on beforehand. Remember in the last round, before we.
All right, Deckard, what do you got?
That is all.
All right, Sparkle, you're up. Teammates are barreling at you. Strahd's egging you on.
Alright.
You're in the sunlight.
I am going to. You see, Sparkle getting wailed on here, and he just gives you the those like eyes, the kitten eyes to Deckard as he's pounding on him like, why? And then you see him just go, whoa, and he explodes in size and becomes a giant ape.
Oh, nice.
And I don't think I can do anything else this round though, because that's my action. But I am
So that what was that? Polymorph?
polymorph. And basically, it's like a 15 by 15 square. So I'm like straddling people here. It's like King Kong climbing the terminal tower here inside this thing. But
And Strahd says, from traitor to beast. An interesting choice, Spargle. Although I must admit, it's interesting to see you in a form that so fittingly fits to your base instincts. Says, try not to make a mess.
and he just looks down at Deckard and just goes,
Deckard, you're standing in front of a beast about twice your size now, or 1.5 times your size. So, but you tore him up pretty good before that. Can you more, Sparkle, or is that your move?
"No, I don't think I have any other actions."
Okay.
Is
Juniper,
polymorph
you're up.
concentration?
No.
Are you asking
Oh,
as
yes,
a
it is.
character or
Yes,
a
it is.
player?
Sorry, my bad. I didn't think polymorph was. I thought it was.
Dan, what would you do in this situation?
I wouldn't metagame it.
Maybe it's wild shape I was thinking of, but yeah, polymorph is concentration.
I pick up a lark, the frog, and slam him on the ground.
Dan, you know what's weird though? It doesn't say that. It says it lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points. So I don't think it's like a concentration save, does it? Is that unique for this or not? Because it doesn't.
I don't know. Actually, that's a good.
Want me to send you the
question.
text of the spell?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just see.
Because it doesn't, like, the only time it transforms back is it reverts to.
I'm only asking because I was going to attack him anyway. Like I'm gonna fight the ape. I'm just like curious if this is like a druid thing where I've got to take him down to.
I just
like-
don't, I've never, like I said, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you do. You will have to maintain concentration, but you'll use an ape's modifier, not yours, right?
Got it.
Okay. Juniper, you're up.
Let's see. I think she's got like, what, 30 feet of movement? Actually, she has 40 feet of movement. So. There, so she can move up to there. And she doesn't really have anything else she can do, so I guess she'll dash. So another 40 feet. Yeah, she's gonna move up next to Deckard, and then that'll be her turn.
Okay. That's all you
We
do?
are really setting Strahd up for a nice fireball here.
Oh man, you read my mind. Sorry. It is Strahd's turn.
He's real close to us, though. I mean,
He can
and he
move.
promised he wouldn't hurt me. That liar.
I don't know that he's like super trustworthy, but I don't know.
Man.
But his first move is he's going to move way back. In fact, he moves. He kind of like steps out of the sunlight and like crawls up the wall a little bit, like Spider-Man style, with his feet and his legs, and he's like halfway up the wall, right where you see him. Ragnar Thornton, you're going to be up next. So, okay, so he is going to. He climbs up the wall and he whispers to you, Spargo. He says, "You might want to back up, and I have some friends coming." And when he says, "I have some friends coming," you guys everybody that's like in this general vicinity here, hears like squeaking noises, like a couple at first, and then just like this crazy, just like plethora of squeaking noises as a cloud of rats starts pouring in through the arrow slits around the room. So there's just like rats just like pouring in, swarms of them on Strahd's command, and one of the swarms runs over to Thoradin, one to Alaric, and one to Deckard, and they immediately just start clawing and biting at you.
Ooh. Ugh.
Okay, so Alaric does a 16 hit.
No.
So the rats swarm you. They start biting at you, but your thick hide, your thick skin, kind of keeps them away. Doesn't do any damage. 15 hit you, Deckard.
Does not.
Does not. Same thing with you. You're able to, just kind of like swat them away, and they're nipping at your feet. Thoradin, 17 hit you.
No, sir.
All right. You guys are all fine. The rats don't happen to bother you at all, but you will have disadvantage as long as they're kind of like all over, like climbing all over you. You may have disadvantage on your next attack.
All of us, you're saying, just as long as they're by it? Okay.
Yep. And then Strahd kind of smirks, and he starts casting a spell. And you see him wiggling his fingers as like a small pebble of rock kind of starts to spin around and grow into a big, almost meteor-like thing as this lights up the whole room, and a fireball lands right in between Thoradin, Alaric, and Deckard. I need you guys to make a dex save.
How big is that shit? Well, I have Aura of Protection, so I'm chilling.
23.
A 23?
Mm-hmm.
You said make what again? I'm sorry, I was reading something.
A dex saving throw.
Okay.
11 for Thor. 11. Oh boy.
Do you get a modifier though from your aura?
I think it already calculates it.
16. I'm not getting any aura, right? Yeah, I'm not close enough. So 16.
Oop, didn't mean to roll that. My bad.
You need an 18, by the way, to save. What did you get, Will?
23.
Oh, you got 23, so you saved. Adam, you did not save, and Thoradin, you did not save. So you each take 31
Oh,
fire damage. I'm sorry, 33.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get it right.
And Strahd is now like kind of up on the wall. These rats are just all over the staircase, just like a swarm of rats. There's 3 of them here, but they're really just like all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry. The rat swarms are also blasted.
Okay, friendly fire on.
I take half that 33, Adam or Dan.
Correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. One of the swarms of rats is completely just disintegrated by the fireball. And then the other two are almost like kind of seem to be like about half of the rats have died, but they're still climbing all over you, Thoradin, and Alaric, you got a bunch on you still.
Do I take 16 or 17 damage?
Round down. 16. And then also right after Strahd casts that fireball, he kind of like looks around and he's just looking, but you guys hear doors and windows all slamming closed for what it's worth. And Ragnar, it's now your turn.
I thought one of them was going to attack me. That's why I stayed down here. All right. So let me get this thing here. I can move.
Drink.
there.
I'm listening. Be right back.
Okay. So with my movement, I think I can get pretty far. All right, I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna move up next to Thoradin. And I'm gonna attack those rats. Does 20 hit the rats?
Yes.
Okay.
You can hear me from all the way in the kitchen?
Yep.
Yeah. 20 hits. And
14
you're hitting
damage.
the ones that are on Thoradin?
Yep.
13?
14.
14? All right. And that was with
Shatterspike.
Chatterspike. Yeah, you cleave through a bunch of them. You slapping them away, carving heads off. You're just like take a whole bunch of them off of Thoradin. He kind of actually can like move around and back up a little bit. There's still about half that swarm left.
Okay. I'll take another swing. 11.
Hits?
Okay.
They have 10 AC.
Was worried about that.
Yeah.
8 damage.
Still a couple of them left on Thoradin, but not many.
Okay. And I would just look at Thoradin and say either Juniper or Spargle has that sun sword. Sergei's in my head. He told me somebody has the sword who doesn't appreciate it, and he's going to help us defeat his brother. And we need the sword. So that's what we need to focus on. We need to get the sword from one of them. And he pointed at the bear. He pointed at Juniper. So that's why I'd say to Thoradin. Through breaths and huffing and puffing.
And Sergei's voice starts to cut out. He says, until you have the sword in your hand, I won't be able to talk to you. My brother's influence is too strong. As he starts to kind of fade away. The closer you get to Strahd, the less you can hear Sergei.
So the bear has the sword?
One of them has it. We need
It's
to
your
get
turn,
it.
Thoradin.
Oh, God.
Before your turn, you hear a familiar voice, a voice you heard months ago, yet moments ago. It is the voice of Nathaniel Swift.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Little Nate.
when you look up,
Oh, God. It's like the eagles in Lord of the Rings, like the fucking the birds start coming, right?
Kind of literally, like you see one kind of giant raven in like half human, half raven form, a were-raven who you hear the voice from. As he comes barreling down, and he says, "The keepers of the feather are here, Thorin. We'll do what we can. Take
Are
him
they in
out."
bird? They're saying that in bird form.
He's the only one that's a were-raven, and then right behind him is an enormous flock of ravens.
30 fucking birds.
Bigger than you've ever seen, and they are all following him down. Like he's like the
So Thorin turns and makes the fucking signal. He makes the fucking bird signal with his hands. I knew they would help us, lads. I knew they'd be here.
The beacons are lit.
what they do is the ravens and Nathaniel and all of them, they swarm around all these rats almost one for one and start plucking them up like the monkeys in the Wizard of Oz. They're like picking up these rats and they're all diving down to the bottom of the spire, and they're literally like slamming each raven has a rat and just kind of dive bombs and smashes them into the concrete below. And then they kind of the ravens disperse, and Nathaniel kind of like gives you the caw, Thorin. Like he's like,
Yeah.
he can't do it accurate.
He acknowledged it. Yeah.
It's not the official one, but he's like, caw, good luck.
Yeah.
And they shoot back out the windows. So all the ravens and rats are the ravens take care of all of the rats for you guys.
Nice. Good. Hey, it pays to do the
Sorry
right
about
thing.
Blackwin.
No, we saved them. We fucking saved them.
You altered time now. That's who knows what's gonna happen.
Hey, guess who ended up dead with that? Just Blackwin, huh?
Mhm.
So Thorin, it is your turn now.
All right. So I'm gonna move. Obviously we're gonna move. I'm gonna move next to my little group here, my friends. And then I'm gonna cast Hold Vampire, so I will have 10 minus 1 is 9 minus 4. So I have 3 charges after this.
Okay,
I'm
and you've brought the sunlight that's still emanating from the symbol, right?
Ooh.
Yes.
Now, can you do both? Can it emanate light, and then can you also use the Hold Vampire?
It doesn't say I can't.
Yeah, I buy it. So, okay. So Thorin kind of marches right up the steps, gets in the middle of all of you. You all feel the aura of protection that he always is sort of like emanating, and that light, he's keeping that bright light. It's just flooding everything, and now it's like shining right on Strahd, who's like up on the wall. Yep.
Would I be able to quickly ask Sparkle, hey, you little shit, you got my sword?
Yeah, go ahead. You can call that out. Sparkle, how do you reply?
Hey, you little shit, you got my sword? Oh, that's right. He's a monkey. That's right. He's a fucking.
That's right. He can't reply.
Fuck. Can I use talk to undead on animals or no? Okay, never mind.
Asking for a friend.
The last guy tried that.
Well, he does look kind of undead. He's like an undead ape.
Oh yeah, do I look like an undead ape? Am I like patches of hair missing? And...
Like
Or
in
like-
what's that movie? Congo, Bad Gorillas.
Yeah,
You look like those weird looking gorillas.
yeah.
Wait. So that's kind of relevant. Is Sparkle undead? Would I be able to discern that essentially?
I don't know that you'd be able to tell one way or another.
If I had to flip a coin and heads
You
or
have to
tails
flip-
to decide if he was undead, I don't have to flip the coin. He's undead.
Do you guys?
You have
Do we?
You have to do a
I-
check as a paladin, but you
Do we
can
think he's cursed?
sense undead.
Do you guys think he's
you could
cursed?
sense it.
Probably.
Because I could use remove curse and just we could try it. Should I try
Matt,
it?
I'm not trying to help you, but like you had that divine, or is it divine sense, or whatever
I
that,
do have divine sense. You're right.
and it does. I think undead and whatever.
So that would be an action.
I thought it was bonus.
But I guess at the end of the
Yeah,
day, what are you going to do with that information, right?
Right. I think I would just cut to the chase and just. I think I want to use remove curse. But I already used my action on hold vampire for fucking Strahd. So I'm just thinking for maybe next turn. I don't want to talk about it too much, but like.
Okay, so hold on. The most important thing is, so you are using the holy symbol. You've
on
ran
Strahd.
up. So
Yes.
Strahd, as you're approaching him with the glaring sunlight from the holy symbol, he shrinks back on the wall and he says, "You think this trinket can save you?" And he's snarling, trying to shield himself from the radiance. He said, "Even in the light."
I know the Sunblade can, lad.
Oof.
I don't like when
Okay,
Dan says
he
oof.
rolled. No, he rolled a. What does he have to roll? He rolled
I think
a
15 is the check. Let me.
wisdom. He rolled a 13. He rolled an 11 plus 2, so he rolled a 13.
What a fucking loser he is, huh?
So he decides to save anyhow.
What does that mean?
Oh, what a bitch.
Oh,
The
cool.
fucking cheater.
Wait, no, that breaks. I mean, if we don't have the rules, then what do we have?
Well,
He just flipped. He
so
flipped Candyland.
you have to remember, Matt, that like end game, like legendary stuff, they have like a lot of stuff in their pockets, right? So he may have a thing that's just like, "Fuck you, I win."
That's what he just-
that card.
Yeah.
So
So it's
totally
good.
rigged.
It's good that you pulled right. You drew that card out.
It's like Big Daddy. I win.
You made him cast
Yeah.
Shield Wall.
No, I win.
Legendary resistance is what it's called.
Right.
The game is
If
totally
if Strahd fails the saving throw, he can choose to succeed instead.
That's
literally the time.
That's end game boss, right? I mean,
Game
what do you
boss,
expect? It's
He can choose to
You know-
succeed.
You know who else has that?
Broken.
Wives. Wives have that.
yeah.
Even if they lose the argument, they could just walk
They
away
just
and say they
choose to
won.
succeed. They won.
That's funny.
Whether it's making dinner or winning arguments.
So, all right, and Alaric, you're going to be up next. So, Thornton, he does save against your holy symbol, but he is trapped in the. Oh, I'm sorry. I
What's
missed
the cooldown on that, but damn.
I can't tell you.
Okay.
But I need to retcon something I forgot about.
Okay.
Before he reeled back out of the sunlight, the sunlight seemed to kind of like Frost in Blade, or like that creature in Blade when they put the ultraviolet light on him and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, like sizzles their skin.
The fat guy. Yeah.
The fat, yeah, that it did that. It did do that, and he kind of like snarled as you
Sizzled
could
a little
tell
bit.
The sunlight was fizzling him. Yes.
A fat fuck.
I gotta watch that again.
Can you do anything else, Thornton? Alaric, you're up, and then Derek.
I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, it doesn't matter. No, I can't. I'm done.
He gets another shot.
How far up the wall is Strahd? And is he like
Just a few feet.
like? Oh, okay. So he's not very far up the wall. Like, is he literally sitting there like with his hand,
Spider-Man.
like his hands and feet like Spider-Man, like stuck to a wall?
Yep.
But not very far.
Not very far.
Okay.
Not yet. He was just trying to get back and then up on the wall away from the sunlight.
All right. Sorry, I had a lot of ideas here. How close is Spargle to the edge? The edge of the stairs? I mean, like feet?
Within a few
Or
feet.
A couple feet?
A couple feet.
Okay. Fuck. Just out of nowhere, you're gonna see Alaric teleport right in front of Strahd.
Nice. I dig it.
And he, like
Smooth
mid
sort of-
teleportation, he's gonna take the spear and toss it from his left hand into his right, and then grab it with both hands and just take a jab at him. And this should all happen like in a split second.
All right. Roll it up.
I'm gonna attack him.
You're using the blood spear?
I am. Is there something I should be aware of?
Yeah. You're going to have to roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because
So
the spear feels awkward in your hand all of a sudden. It's like... Now, if you had advantage, they would negate. It wouldn't be, there's no such thing as double advantage or double disadvantage. So if you can roll with advantage, then it's just you roll with nothing. Cheater and total loser.
Okay. Just looking at something else. Okay. Disadvantage attack. 19.
Still a 19. That hits Strahd.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are level 11. You're pretty powerful. I mean, a plus 13 to hit is fucking insane. So, okay, yeah, you hit him, and so you hit him for 11 damage.
Yep. 11 piercing.
11 piercing. But that's a magical weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that sinks in. He's kind of like up against the wall. He's in sunlight. He's kind of like hiding his eyes from the sunlight, so he doesn't even see the spear go in, but you see him wince in pain.
Okay. I'm gonna take another attack.
Blood spear?
Yep.
Okay, you don't have to roll with disadvantage this time.
Okay. That said, is this something I would assume that Alaric would notice this, right? Especially after maybe making a second swing, that he'd be like, something's not right here. This feels off, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely notice that it's like, this feels awkward, right? It's like you're holding a left-handed golf club, and you're like, whoa, why does this feel weird, right? You know what I mean? It's just like not natural. Something's off. Yep.
Okay.
When you stab him the first time, Strahd kind of like looks down under the like piercing, and he looks at it sticking out of him, and he's actually in a little bit of a shock, and he said, "That relic, Kavan's pitiful vengeance. You dare think his feeble power can topple the Lord of Barovia? I faced greater threats than a cursed spear, but for this affront you will suffer."
Okay. Roll my next attack. 18 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, shit. 10 damage.
That does good too. After he says that, you pull the spear back out and you jab him in the other side of his abdomen, and he's pinned up against the wall, stuck in sunlight. He's not happy.
Okay. I think that's it for me.
Spargle. How much damage did you take last round?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It was before I polymorphed though.
Have you taken damage since you polymorphed?
No,
Okay, cool.
not yet. Okay. Let's see. I am okay. You see I'm trying to think here. What's the best way? Okay, so he looks down at Deckard, who just wailed on him twice, and he's basically down there, hovering right, basically where my gorilla balls land, are laying, and I go bang bang with
Was
my
it?
fist.
Did we skip me or?
Oh, wait, what?
Should be Deckard's.
Alar. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Deckard, you're up. Sparkle, I was just asking you a question because I needed to do a retcon a thing.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Deckard, you're up, and then Sparkle.
So this giant ape. So he's still just a giant ape.
Yep.
And I'm assuming when he polymorphs, like, there's no like the stuff that he has, like I can't tell if he has a sword on him, can I? Like I wouldn't be able to.
Right.
Yeah, how does that work? That's a good call.
That's a
No,
good
they kind of absorb up into the form.
I was wondering about that too.
Okay. So Deckard's just going to Deckard's standing there in front of Spargle and kind of puts his claws across his chest and throws them out, and they burst into flames. So that's my bonus action, and normally I'd take damage. Oh, actually,
have to
the
take
first
any
thing I get to do is I take 3 healing, because when I'm under 40, if I'm 49 hit points or less, I heal 3 hit points at the beginning of my turn.
Nice.
So I'm healing 3 hit points. I turn my fists on fire. So now my attacks are magical. And I attack this giant ape in front of me.
Hey Dan,
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I should know this after years of playing. But both attacks that I landed +3 damage to each, so another 6 piercing damage. I always forget to add my rage bonus.
And those were to Strahd.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right, Deckard. So you attack
26.
Spargle the ape with 26 hits.
So 10 magical damage, and then 2 fire damage. And I'll swing again. My extra attack.
Hey, Deckard, I'm sorry. How much damage did you do to me?
Well,
I did 12 total.
Okay.
And then I missed.
14
I'm
hits. He
assuming.
only has 12. He only has 12
Oh,
AC.
does it? Oh,
Mhm.
Let me
okay.
do a concentration check before you do your second attack too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good call. Thanks, Punch. Yeah, I mean, he had this thing is like
So
failed.
yeah, so I failed it. So it's right concentration.
Yeah. Yep.
Constitution.
You need a 10 or higher. Yeah. So you failed, and fortunately, because this ape is huge, right? It has no defenses but tons of hit points. But your first strike, Deckard, kind of knocks Spargle out of his spell, and it doesn't seem to do a ton of damage, but it spins him around, and he returns back into his form.
Okay. In the and I don't know if we can manage to do this non-verbally in a quick moment, but Deckard was raising his second attack to hit Spargle, and then suddenly he was Spargle again. And he just looks to Thoradin real quick and raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Like if you're looking for Thoradin to Thoradin, you have a moment to respond, however you want to respond. Deckard struck at Spargle, and he instantly warped back into little Spargle, and then he raised his other hand and he's looking at you like, looking for an idea?
We need the Sunblade. We need the hilt. Like if it's on his person, like we should all be like hyper aware
Yeah.
of like that's what we need to do. Like
What was the Sunblade? A short sword, long sword?
It's like basically it's like a fucking lightsaber.
Okay. So unless he's got that
We
in a
found
bag
it
of
in that
holding, that thing
castle.
should be like beaming
Yeah.
out of his body.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
mean, yeah.
I think it's just the hilt. I don't think it's shining right now.
Yeah, it goes away when
Okay.
you activate it. So it's just the handle.
So I doubt at this stage, because I've technically like used an action. I mean, so
What you gonna do?
Knowing Spargle, he's using as a fucking butt plug.
yeah, I mean,
no one's
Deckard-
Spargle.
And Thoradin's jealous.
Deckard,
Over back into
Oh,
Spargle
shut-
as I roll up the tape, and you just see this thing out my back end.
Just a
Jordan,
blue
did
jewel.
You
Yeah.
did
Matt.
wail me like,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
did you
ow.
like in character in this fight say anything about that defined sense or being cursed?
No,
Because that was that just table talk or was that in game?
that was out of character. Me asking you guys if we think Spargle was cursed.
So with that said, Deckard strikes at Spargle again.
At little regular Spargle.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
fuck it.
Oh no.
23.
Yeah, you hit. I think you hit him, unless Spargle, you're gonna do anything. Reaction,
No,
shield, nothing.
it won't do it. Won't work.
Oh, Dop stink bag. It's fine.
12 damage plus another 2, so 14 damage.
So, Deckard, when you strike Spargle, you rip right through his tiny little body, right? And you see all these claw marks just kind of come across his robes and everything. And you see them immediately seal back up.
Oh.
And you notice right behind him, the heart itself has the heart, the crystalline heart hovering in the room behind you, has the same directional slash mark that you did to Spargle across it now. And little shards of blood fall from it. Spargle looks down and looks okay.
Oh, this is like fucking Dragonheart.
So I was right.
Yep.
That fucking
So-
heart is yeah. You're gonna have to fuck that thing up.
Deckard
Fight the Spargle though.
Deckard grunts angrily and does a long jump. He doesn't even run. He does this feral leap right next to Strahd. My long jump is 10 feet, so
You got it. You can get to him. Alaric's
And
kind of
then-
like right below him with like poked him twice in his belly. So you're like right next to Alaric and Strahd's like pinned against the wall. He seems a little bit like semi-incapacitated because he's in the middle of the sunlight.
got it. Okay, well that's the end of my turn, so I end standing right next to Strahd.
Hey, sorry to interrupt again. Is that sunlight doing anything to the heart?
No. Doesn't seem to. You haven't noticed any effect.
Okay.
Good question.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Now it's Spartacus' turn.
I did my best not to meta, Dan.
No, it's good.
It's hard not to, right? With so many people and
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Well, like Matt brought
You
up
didn't
the
slam
curse.
the polymorph frog on the ground.
Yeah. I get one per campaign. I used it years ago.
Right. And then Juniper, you'll be up after Spargle. How you guys doing on time? What do you want to do here? I'm good, but I don't want to push anybody too late. If we want to just put a pin in the combat and resume at another time, we can, or we can keep plowing.
Whatever the group wants to do.
Whatever the group wants to do is cool with me. I can go either way.
Okay.
I can go
I mean-
a little later. I have to get up early.
Well, let's see where 20 more minutes gets us, and then if we-
I'd be willing. Yeah, my only concern is we end things, and I can't hang around to like
Yeah.
Chat.
Shoot your foot.
Oh no, well, yeah, and well, anyhow, in any event, we're gonna get together.
Okay.
Yeah. Win, lose, or draw.
So yeah, I'll
right?
keep.
I know what you're saying though. Like when it's kind of hot too, it's fun too to kind of relate.
So anyway, yeah, I'll stay up a little longer.
All right, let's see where we go.
So whose turn is it?
Sparkle,
Oh,
and then Juniper, you'll be up after him.
Okay. Same thing. I'm gonna give him a monkey punch
Who's that?
here.
Wait,
Oh,
you're
you're-
not.
are you
you're
a
not a
monkey?
monkey?
Well, you're not a monkey anymore. You got
Oh,
broke
no.
out. You're back to Sparkle
Oh,
mode.
shit. Okay.
You're a
Ooh.
gnome.
You know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna say, you guys are being so rude right now, hitting me and everything. I'm like, it's been a long day. I
Yeah.
think we should just lay down our burdens. Lay down all your burdens. Lay down your weapons. Lay down your equipment, and just take a walk to Kresk. That's what you guys need to do. Just take a walk to Kresk. And I cast Mass Suggestion.
Oh, whoa! What is going on?
Take a walk to Kresk.
Everybody needs to make a Wisdom save.
All right. Well,
What's the
Juniper,
range on this? It's
you
everybody?
get +2.
Up to 12
60
people,
feet.
basically.
Yeah, yeah. So who
So
are
what-
you? Do you get to pick who you target?
Yeah.
so what does this thing do?
I'll read it to you just because I can suggest a course of activity and influence up to 12 characters that I can see within range, blah, blah, blah. If you're immune to being charmed, then it won't impact you. But it has to be somewhat reasonable. Like I can't tell you to stab yourself or jump off the cliff or something that's going to immediately harm you. But you guys make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration, which is 24 hours. If that can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when they finish what they were asked to do.
And what's the
Damn.
save we gotta hit?
So I can get like a couple sentences of worth of things, basically.
A Wisdom
Yeah.
17 save.
Lay
Oh,
down your weapons and take a walk.
And
Ugh.
do we get something from Thoradin? On saving throws?
Only
You get a
Juniper
plus
does.
two if you're in the
Oh, good, good.
range.
Oh my god.
I mean, Sparkle's really powerful, and this is a level 6 spell. So it's a Wisdom 17 save.
I got it.
So Ragnar saved. Alaric and Decker did not. Thoradin didn't.
is it one save or do we get to save every turn?
Oh.
This is TPK. They're gonna just start walking out of the tower.
Oh, wait, I have advantage. Let me roll it again. Shit. It's even. Never mind. Fail.
I'm gonna read. Dan, should I read the rest of the spell because there's a factor here that could impact?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
But I
Yep,
don't
yep.
know. It would be like kind of meta if they know it or not. But if you or any of your companions damage a creature affected by this spell, the spell ends for that creature. So in other words, if Ragnar kicked Alaric in the balls,
I thought that was gonna be kind of assumed. That's
Well, so-
exactly
Yeah,
would have been,
that's like-
would have been my course of action was to slap a party member or whatever.
yeah.
Punch
Okay,
him.
that's cool. Yeah.
So if
I don't
not
think that's
attack,
giving anything
so
away.
we break two, right?
It's not a concentration thing where like if you damage me, but not that I mean you wouldn't necessarily know that. Maybe you want to hit me anyway. But it does if you like you said, if you snap him out of it.
But if Strahd attacks us too, it would break it.
If anybody I don't
Cool.
know, but I mean I would assume so, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think it matters who does the damage. They basically it triggers if where was it? if you or any of your companions damage a creature affected by this spell, the spell ends for that creature.
Hey, so just so you know, since this hit, when I fail a savings throw, I get to re-roll my rage. And I did, and I don't know how this works. So now my rage is the ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies. It's just creating tremors within a 15-foot radius around me. So that should be hitting Strahd and Sparkle. For
Yeah,
what that's
yeah,
worth.
I would say.
I don't know if that's doing anything at this point, but just so you know. And I don't
Here,
know how
I'm
to
gonna,
love it.
I'm gonna just in case you're interested in, or if there's anything I'm screwing up here, I'll put the text of the spell under rules discussion in Discord. So you guys.
Oh,
can
very
see it.
cool. Yeah. That'll help.
I don't know if I kept it going. I thought I did. Yeah.
All right, Juniper, you're going to be up next. Spargo, is there anything else you can do in your turn?
Let me see where I'm at position wise. No, I'm so Juniper, you're not attacking me, right? I mean, you haven't attacked me or anything, right?
Not yet.
I'm gonna move.
Not yet.
I'm gonna move out of the way here a little bit here, like that way.
Okay. You're kind of getting out of the sunlight yourself.
You are?
Well, I don't. Yeah, you don't see me being bothered by the sunlight so much as I'm getting away from all the hitting I've been getting.
I just want to make sure, like, there's no reaction because of that wisdom fail, right? Like, I don't get an attack of opportunity on that, do I?
Wait, because of what?
Because he moved away from me?
He passed by her. Would
And
she
he
get to
moved
take
out
a
of
swipe?
my area of...
Oh, if he moved out of your melee range and you're considering him an enemy, you're welcome to take an attack of opportunity against Sparkle.
Is that, Sparkle, is that why you asked if you could move away? Because I hadn't attacked you yet?
I was curious about that, but at the same time, and I'm not trying to like whatever. I don't think you didn't pass the save, right?
I did not pass the save now.
So I don't think that. I think you're following my suggestions. At this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Okay.
I that's a good point. On that, I would say that took effect before you could have taken an attack of opportunity. So your current instruction
Right.
that you have to follow is that you need to head to Crest. Juniper, as much as I hate to say it.
Excellent. And when does she get to make her next wisdom saving throw? At the end of her turn or at the end of his turn?
Yeah, I don't know, Sparkle. I couldn't read from that. When did they
She
get
doesn't get a
to?
wisdom saving throw unless something like damages her.
What's that?
So only if I get damaged will I stop moving to Kresk.
What's the
You're-
X-Men
you're under
movie when the
spell.
guy just keeps walking till his feet melt off?
Origins, yeah,
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
This is
Yeah.
gonna be you. This is gonna be you guys while I'm just standing here.
Is it? Or are you gonna pop me one as I try to move past you? Like, would
we'll
Thoradin, would you, like, pop the bear that turned around and start walking to Kresk, or would you just let the bear go?
Honey, I'm walking to Kresk. I got no control over nothing.
That's
I'd
great.
hop on the bear for a ride to Kresk. Get me the hell out of here.
So Juniper, what are you doing? I mean, I
She's
guess
going
you
down
have-
the stairs, man. She's
Yeah,
trying to go to
there's-
Kresk.
She's
Yeah,
gotta
you guys know
dance.
you guys know you guys are aware of the building. You know there's a door, and if you go down the stairs, you can hit the door and kind of like start heading out the front where you
Yeah,
came
peace,
in.
guys.
I mean,
40,
All right.
and then another 40.
You have 40 movement?
Yeah, I'm a bear.
now what was your exact instruction, Spargo? You didn't say like go as fast as you can or anything like that. You just said go to
No.
Crest. So I think the
Probably be like a zombie
interpretation
walk,
could be
wouldn't it?
right.
Why,
Your
why
normal.
would you stress yourself out? You're just like, I'm just
Okay.
gonna relax and I'm gonna get to Kresk.
And
So-
you probably would like honestly, you probably won't make it to Crest that quick. Like it's 24 hours. So if you don't come,
You doubt me? I could make it to Kresk. I could get there right now if I wanted to.
well, sure. Yeah, good point.
I know there's a portal around here somewhere.
The really
Um,
tricky part's going to be the fact that the whole building is encircled with the mists of Ravenloft that you can't get through. So we'll see how that resolves.
Yeah, well, one problem at a time. Yeah, so Bear Juniper sits down with a big plop on its furry rear end, and then she drags herself one step at a time, 40 feet down the stairs on her rump. And that's it.
So I don't want to do anything untowards, but is she going to walk past me?
She's next to you now, but because she's not rushing, she's not moving past you.
Yeah,
yet.
she got that far and then kind of
And
like
then she
got to the end of
plopped
it.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been on her rumpus, making her way down the
Oh,
stairs.
like a dog cleaning their butt.
Kind of. I feel like it'd be really weird to be on all fours going down the stairs.
Yeah, that's going to be a weird look.
But that's
So it would be Strahd's turn next, but I'm gonna make a judgment call here because I don't want to rush anything. I love this move with the mass suggestion. This whole thing could play out. Let's do another session where we can like hit the pause button and pick right up where we're at in the combat, and then I may build in some of the epilogue stuff depending on how this goes. I might ask you guys to do some stuff beforehand, or we might do just a session and then another thing later. I'll make sense of it all. But it's Strahd's turn next. We're in the middle of combat. Spargle just did this crazy move out of nowhere, which has sent half the group into this zombie mode, just walking away to Crest. Poor Ragnar's sitting there going like, what the hell's going on? I think there's enough like just fucking chaos going on that it'll be fun to pick this up next time right here. We'll just keep going without rushing it.
Not if I fucking drive to Cleveland and punch Steve right in the fucking face.
This is good. And I can't wait. This will all make sense in the end. I don't come to any conclusions yet. This has been great. I loved how this all played out, and I don't want to rush it because it's going too good. So
Cool.
Thank you guys. We'll get the next one on the calendar soon, and it'll really just be picking up right where we left off. It's like playing a Nintendo game. We hit pause, and we're gonna unpause it when we go.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna cut the stream off there.